No, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village. Facebook.com/VinandSori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
So buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. We're actually a little bit late. Apologies.
But we're here.
Technical difficulties.
Once again.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. We've got technical difficulties.
You know.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Look, my nice chair is in the other room. You can see the peeling chair. Don't look at the chair. Okay. The name of the stream tonight is Happy New Year, bitches. Shout out to a whole bunch of
bitches, apparently.
Bitches. Yeah.
Just as long as they're not salty bitches. Here's the
they can be a bitch, but don't be a salty bitch.
There's the stream key, dear listener. Go ahead. Like, is there a little thingamajig?
For some of the songs, we have a little bit of a write-up. For this one, I did not see one.
Which alliance was this?
This is not any alliances.
Oh.
This is a group of Discord members, fellow villagers that have banded together to create this bitchin' stream.
All right, guys. Black Queen in the house.
So
Haven't seen you in a while. Let's do it.
Hey, hi. So the first song on the list is from DJ Mike Franco.
Oh, hey. DJ Mike Franco. Is he here yet?
That's a good question.
Damn, DJ Mike. So many reasons. Many reasons.
So he, yeah.
Who is this Ken? Rest in peace to Ken Block, whoever that is. Action sports legend, DC shoes. Damn. All right, RIP to him. I'm gonna try to keep my spirits up today. No disrespect, but I'm trying to keep my spirits up. All right. Okay, so song number 1. I'm gonna wait for 5 minutes for DJ Franco. If anybody's got Franco's number, let him know that we're here. I know we're a little bit.
So should I not be reading this yet?
Schedule.
Just a little.
No, because that was him, right? He had written that specifically.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, possibly, or it might have all come from Middle. Who am I to know? Okay, so we're not starting for another couple minutes.
Yeah, we'll do
We'll ask us anything.
Ask me anything here.
Ask us a question.
DJ Mike has made it. Excellent.
Okay.
There he is, right there. Okay. He's Hank Hill. Hello. Okay. Yeah, we just didn't want to start without you, Mike. So we made everybody wait. We made everybody wait a little bit.
Yep.
But we couldn't do DJ Mike's song without DJ Mike. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys.
So Boston Smokin' is the name of the song. Well, the band is Boston. The name of the song is Smokin'. This stream comments, let's see what they have. Stream for 7 Discord members, just picking any songs they wanted the village to hear. This stream title is in jest, so don't be salty.
Don't be salty about it, y'all.
In other words, he was telling us not to be bitches and be complaining about that.
Yeah,
All
I was a little salty. Come in here, all my shit is gone, all my stuff is rearranged.
Yeah, and I really thought that I had come through. I was like, everything's set up, we're gonna be good.
You did.
But then the camera was all smudges on the.
It's all right.
I mean, I don't know. You got 7 kids. Chances are something's gonna slide somewhere.
Especially when you got evil ass kids like ours. Good Lord.
Okay.
Something wrong with them kids, I tell you. All right, guys, here we go. Boston.
Let's go. And the lyrics are right up there on Trello for almost all the songs, except one of them I'm a little bit confused. Is like maybe a trailer.
Shout out to all the beautiful people that included the lyrics in their song request.
Please, that was all middle, I think.
Yeah, that was all middle. All right, guys, here we go. Song number 1. Name of the song is Smokin'. Name of the band is Boston. Let's do this shit. Oh, right from the get-go? No build-up? Okay. Sounds like one of them, like... Do-do-do-do.
Yep. Yeah. Yep, okay. Some fun.
Smoking! How does this happen? Road tripping in this bitch, let's go! What year was this? Whoa. Whoa, this took a different turn. Organ?
What?
Play! reading this Stephen King
Hey,
book
what's
together.
playing out loud? Oh, is that something?
Huh? That's us. You didn't mute us the whole time? Has there been an echo this entire time? People like, don't tell them.
Idiots.
Remember we used to do the streams like starting around 11 o'clock, we'd be up to like 2, and then like somewhere around 12:30, 1 o'clock-ish, it would start dying on us. Remember that? The internet would die on us?
No, I thought it was dying around 8, which is why we had to push it so late.
Oh, that's right. We were doing it prime time. The internet was dying on. Remember that? And everybody had all these conspiracies and all that.
Yep.
Oh, you forgot about that, didn't you?
Yeah. But some of the times it was like literally our internet was just so bad at that point.
I know.
We had to fight so much to get get better.
They had the prices we've paid for you people.
Yeah, we were paying Cadillac prices
for idea.
For a bicycle.
Yeah, that vocalist. Okay, so
What
this
a fun song.
That's what I'm saying. It started out. There's no intro. There's no build up. It's just immediately and like I immediately thought about like those '90s movies, and the kids are being really rebellious, and it's like, okay, what rebellious thing are they gonna do? They're just driving without a seatbelt, bro. Like honestly, like you know what I'm saying? Like they're 16 years old. It's 1995. Like they got But they felt like badasses, so it's like, yeah, you're still at mommy and daddy's house, bro. Like you're driving, the car's in daddy's name. You crash the car, it's daddy's insurance. Like, but like that youthful sort of like, we're gonna do a bunch of dumb shit. Like it just like, this was written in 70. Okay, so this is 76.
Okay.
So that means that middle was in high school rocking to this shit. Like we literally like not even conceived, not even like we're a long time away. And then like, but then you got Mike, who's our age or younger, requesting a song that Middle listened to when he was in high school. Like that. That's one of the like the crazy things to me about music and all the stuff we're looking at with time and space and all this, and like, is time really real and whatever? And it's like, it's so odd how some music, like you play it and immediately you somehow, some way experientially go back in time. Whereas there are other songs that are just it's weird.
Oh, wait. No, I didn't know.
There's some songs that are just ever present. Like, so for example, that, what's that song? Your boyfriend, DiCaprio, and he was sinking shit, he was all cold and shit.
The Go On, My Heart Will Go On one?
Yeah. Okay, you play that song in 30 years, like...
Oh, you're still gonna...
It's still gonna be that song. It's a whole generation of people who haven't heard that. Same thing, Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. Like, that's a 90s song, technically, but it really isn't, because it's just...
Yeah, timeless.
It doesn't bring you anywhere, because it feels like it's an like, the entire band, Iron Maiden, is like that. Like, you can kind of say, okay, this is the 80s, but a lot of their shit is just timeless. Like, this band right here is like, to me, I don't know much about this band, but I feel like they're probably going to be, like, in that legendary, like, Iron Maiden type category of... Because it's like... This could have been a Beach Boys song.
Oh,
you know yeah. Like, it could have been like,
I totally agree.
To the beach. We're on the way to the... whatever. But then right in the middle, you get hit with freaking an organ.
Yeah, but the way that they played it, you didn't even feel like... I don't know, it was something wild that they were doing with that instrument. The way that they were beating on it. Like, they were playing it harder.
Well, there's that, but, like, there's also, like, the whole prog thing, because everybody knows I hate prog as a genre. But one of the things I hate about prog is they'll like, put in this section of music, and it's in itself, it's an amazing piece of music, and you can tell, like, these guys have mastered the craft, but, like, who freaking cares? Like, it doesn't work in the song. That's the thing I hate about prog, is they always do shit like that, like, just to show off, like,
sometimes they do.
Look how avant-garde I am, and
I think that I like some of it.
You never thought of a xylophone in the middle of a heavy metal breakdown, did you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that kind of, like, man, get out of here, bro. But, like, the way they did the organ here, like, it worked. Like, I believed it. It worked. And it kind of crept up on me because I'm, like, vibing to the song. And then, like, halfway through, I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
Is that an organ? I was like, yo, is that an organ? Like, what the fuck? So, stuff
yeah,
like
I didn't
that,
even realize
like,
the organ was going until you said something. And then I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, it's true. They are really... Yeah, this song, I'm not sure if I've heard it before or just like the energy of it is familiar to me, but like definitely when it was playing, I was feeling it, and it was, I don't know, it was reminding me of something really familiar, but that I couldn't like put my finger on. I don't know if I've heard it before. Have you heard it before? Or
that's true.
Do you feel that way?
Riff, especially that beginning riff.
Yeah, exactly. Right at the beginning.
You know,
yeah, what I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe that was just a very, very common riff, but
I appreciate the song. I could feel it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, you know, you put on an older song, like you were saying. Okay, so you're saying that this one's more on the timeless scale.
Well, I felt like it was timeless in the sense of like
it's definitely leaning more on the timeless side for me as well.
Like I couldn't like hear that and go, oh, like, you know, like there's some, although the 70s to me I think is no, because like the funk and my point is like, especially after going through a couple of Revo sessions, like you can listen to Revo and go, oh, that's the 50s.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
that's what I really, really appreciate.
This one is like late 70s into early 80s. It just doesn't really fit anywhere. Like it doesn't. Yeah. It's not like a bell bottom. Yeah,
because it had the 70s, but it also had the late 80s feel to it.
Well, the thing is, I'm not seeing bell bottoms and daisies. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, you know how when you listen to the 70s stuff and it's like psychedelic, man, and you know, bell bottoms and like I'm not getting that.
No,
feel.
I didn't either.
Like I'm just getting the whole, yo, where the party at? We're gonna turn up. We're gonna go to the beach. You know, put the top down.
That's what I saw. I saw a bunch of clips of people having fun.
Yeah,
it wasn't like sometimes. Yeah, you're right. When a song is played, you only picture the band. That's what you see in your head is the band.
Yeah.
But this one, it was like, look at all these things, and I don't know, smoking, we're cooking tonight. Just keep on. Wait a minute.
Keep toking.
Yeah, is this so? Basically, this is just a party song, right?
Yeah, it's just about rock and roll. We're going to play you a song, little rock and roll, let yourself go, let the band take control.
Yeah.
There's some substances, there's some alcohol.
I feel all right, Mama, I'm not joking. I feel all right, Mama, I'm not joking.
Yeah, that's what they used to say to their girls, you know?
Oh, Mama. Okay. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Applejack's like, where? Yeah. Where is it? Yeah, but like it's just about having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's.
Okay, well we can appreciate that is a timeless topic. People should have fun.
Yeah, people should have fun. We'll pick you up and take you away. Get down tonight. Okay, that means this song came out in '76. That means that your parents are what? They came up in the '50s then, right?
My mom was born in the 60s.
Let's say if you're a teenager by 76, that means your parents were probably born in like the 30s, right?
Oh, you have to have been. Yeah.
Right? So your parents were born in the 30s, so when they were badasses, they were listening to like the jukebox, I'm going to buy you a milkshake.
You said in the 30s? They had a jukebox in the 30s?
No, I'm just saying when they became teenagers, they were listening to like jukebox shit, I'm going to buy you a milkshake. And now their kids are listening to, yo, we gonna get high.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just, that's what I'm talking about, like the generation gap, bro. It's like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's kind of works backwards. Now, like I'm seeing our generation of parents, like we would never let our kids do what we were doing when we were at that age. Much less, I mean, there's nothing our kids could even do to one up the shit that I was doing in high school. Like it's like literally impossible. But like,
oh my gosh,
you know what I'm saying? It's just interesting, like how time.
Maybe that's what makes you more of a relaxed parent.
Oh, 100%.
It's because you're like, well, they're never gonna do what I did. I'm like, what are they gonna do that I did?
They're never gonna get.
I have both thoughts. I'm like, wait a minute. What if they do this? What if they do that? But then there's the other side of me that's like, what if they do something I hadn't thought of yet?
See, that's the problem with like rock and roll. And just the whole culture of like any subculture that tells young people, man, just do that shit, bro. It's terrible because like on the one hand it's fun, but on the other hand,
the destruction. Can you pass me that water?
The teenage time in America is such a time that has so much potential for destruction, and young people still don't get the concept of like this one thing that you do can end up completely altering your life or ending your, like we just had a situation recently, you know what I'm saying, like where people were like 3 seconds away from like real bad shit happening, like really bad shit happening. So it's just like So you're in that weird space as a teenager where it's like, yeah, let's have fun, let's take risks, but I'm still gonna go home to mommy and daddy, and then you get this like young rock band that's like, man, fuck all that shit. Where the party at? Man, don't worry about that. We ain't a little bag. Go ahead, young fella. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then now, you know, Shorty's pregnant or, you know, whatever. It's just pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I really like this song. I like this song. And it wasn't really pretentious either. It's like, yo, this is rock and roll. We're gonna have some fun and some sex, some drugs, some music.
Right. Yeah.
We're in good shape. You're in good shape. Just be happy. Mm-hmm. You know, in and out like a Boy Scout. Yep. I really enjoyed it. And you got to get an extra 0.5 just due to the freaking, what do you call it?
The organ.
The organ.
Yeah.
The unpretentious organ.
Yes.
Listen close. Hear me. Hear me, prog rockers.
Hear me.
All right, what did you give it?
This is a 9.7.
That's
a good one.
I'm not going to give it a 9.7. You can't give it a 9.7. I'm going to give this solid one a 90.
Oh, a 9 even. Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing what Middle Earth always does. Middle Earth always does like the full percent. I'm going to try to do that.
Okay.
All right, dear listener, we are coming right back at you with another moment of metal madness. That's alliteration. Another moment of metal madness. You wish you could do things like that. I wish you could do things like that.
But I couldn't.
So
I married someone who could. So I still look like I'm doing it.
Out!
I'm on the team. Sorry, out.
Gone! You're the worst. Holy smokes. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at sorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
Rubbish. That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Buy merch indeed. A child shall lead them
to buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
A child shall lead them. That's where that's the direction we're headed in.
Yeah.
Right now, we're in the middle of a Happy New Year's bitches stream with 7 or maybe 8 of our.
Wait, is 7 here? Like 7 Dustin?
Well,
I usually get a text.
Yeah, well, because
I usually get a text for the homie.
They had a problem.
Who?
Their pipes broke. I don't think that's private information. Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably saying too much out here. What's wrong with you?
That's just cold air. I don't know. Maybe that's.
Oh no! Oh, look
what happened. I touched. Yeah. But look at this. Why is it saying that? You plugged into my computer. Does that have anything to do with it?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the camera. Can you just do the thing that you normally do with the camera? Stand by, dear listener. Disconnect.
Yeah, that's it. Pass that in, thanks. I don't know what happened here. So what you guys thought?
Wait, hold on. It's got that stupid continuity camera.
That's what I'm saying. There was something weird.
Okay, you're back. You're back. You're in good shape. Thank you.
Okay.
Jazakallahu khair.
Thank you.
What happened?
Nothing. They thought Johan was upstairs. It wasn't.
It's been really good, guys.
Good.
Blood's like tears, literally.
Gross. Bye now.
Finger. I'll get that home.
Yeah, it's stupid continuity camera. I don't know how to disable that thing.
But
Okay,
we're good. We're back.
We're back.
Have no fear.
Have no fear.
Up next is Nothing, ACD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder.
Abscessive.
Yeah.
Not obsessive. Abscessive. You know, like an
Oh, in my
abscess?
head I said abscessive.
Yeah. No,
But
you
out
said
loud I said
obsessive,
obsessive.
you weirdo.
Well, I was thinking about obsessive compulsive disorder, so I guess I said what I was thinking. All right.
Yeah.
So this song,
Yeah.
This song is, I believe, you know what? I'm not going to announce who it is because I'm not completely sure. Whoever's song this is, let us know in the comments section and we'll announce you by putting it up on the screen.
Yes. Wonderful,
Let's do this song. They have the lyrics for us up on Trello, so...
They do.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, guys. What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is ACD.
Nothing, ACD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Let's do this.
Obsessive.
I said obsessive.
I know.
Whoa.
Okay.
was obsessive compulsive disorder.
All right.
That was a little sad. That was a sad one.
Yes, it is.
What's going on with you? What are you thinking about? You look like you're thinking about something.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just, okay. Well, a couple things. One was, I liked the way that the music just kind of hit you, like, sort of, in a sort of satisfying, like, way. Not doomsy, but kind of like, it had that kind of trudgy sort ofness to it. Which had a very satisfying, like, kind of sound feel to it, which I enjoyed. Lyrically, I can definitely see what you're saying, where, it sounds like it's about a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I understand.
Babe, disconnect your shit from mine. This is not working.
Well, no, you said something to Siri.
Oh, that was mine?
The Siri's connected to my Mac. What do you want me to do?
I know, but it's coming out my headphones.
Okay, go ahead.
Why did it start out with the beginning being swallow corrosive confection, decay, rotting in the womb? I can wallow in your filth, I live to. That...
What because
about
that?
To me, I was understanding from the song that this is a relationship. One person is obviously extremely toxic.
Yep, the singer is the toxic.
Is the toxic one.
So,
yep.
Kudos to the singer for recognizing that he's toxic.
Yeah.
Like, no bullshit. Like, a lot of toxic people have a problem understanding that they're toxic. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's really funny. Is like, I see all these...
That takes honest self-reflection.
I don't know when the term toxic even came about, but when it started coming about and everybody was recognizing toxic people, I was like, I wonder who's the first person that's going to say, like, I am a toxic person. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like... Mm-hmm. For most of my family life, like, I was definitely the toxic person in the family. Like, there were other people that were toxic in the family that I was reacting to, like, for sure. But I was definitely the toxic one in the family. Like, and when you get to that moment of clarity where you're like, yo.
Yeah. I've been having some of my own moments like that.
But being a middle child, like, you that's kind of, in my opinion, one of the hidden advantages of being a middle child is that, if you are the toxic one, you do have hope of your closest friends and family letting you know that you're the toxic one if you are the middle child.
Yes, that is true. I do believe
that
that's
look
true.
of
That's
exasperation, that look of disappointed knowing. Oh, yes.
She goes again.
Let me guess. It was Vincent.
This has something to do with sorry, doesn't it?
And wrongness.
Yep.
It's about your daughter. Which one? Is it the good one? I mean, the older one?
We have some bad news.
Yeah.
It's about your daughter. They know exactly which one it is.
Yeah. Toxic Crusaders. Yeah, so I really appreciated the fact that this dude had the legit self-awareness to understand that she was not good for him, which we just got done watching a
oh wait, she wasn't good for him?
I mean, vice versa. He wasn't good for her.
Yeah, okay.
He wasn't good for her.
Yeah.
Like, we just got done watching this show where there was focus on a couple and she left him. And there was no real, like, build up to her leaving. It's just one day, like, he walks in. It
just went too far.
And all her shit is packed up. She's out. Like, she's had enough. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was donezo for him. So, like, I and obviously, you know, looking back at it now, like, when we see the whole scenario, like, that dude is not. It's a weird thing. Like, we say like the strangest stuff. Like, everybody can change. Like, how do we know that everybody can change? Like, where did you get that idea that everybody can change? And there's a lot of people that, like, genuinely believe it. They're like, oh, anybody can change. I don't think that that's true. I don't think anybody can change. Like,
at all?
That was one of the... Yeah, I don't think that everybody can change. I think there's literally millions of people who are, like, stuck in their way, and that's it. Like,
because they stayed unchanged when they could have changed?
Yeah, sure. I mean, however
Or
you want to put
I'm
it.
just wondering, like, do you believe some people are born never to be changed? I don't think so.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, I don't think the Trumps had a shot.
Wait a minute.
I don't think they had a shot at being anything other than what they are, by being born into that family.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think that they're gonna change.
Yeah, but you think that they could?
No, I don't. Because when I look at, and I'm just specifically pointing out like low hanging fruit, but I don't want to get like super controversial, like.
Well, no, there's a point you're trying to get to.
But no, like if you're born a Trump, like the chances of you being an environmentally, socially conscious individual is extremely low. And the idea that they would be able to self-diagnose and say, yeah, we're a major problem in America. We're enigmatic of what's majorly wrong with America. Not necessarily their dad, but the class structure and all the little perks that you get when you start walking into money, that we start going, well, wait a second.
Hold on.
Wait a second.
No.
You know, when you start getting a little money and you get a little access, you start see. So it's highly unlikely that they're going to be like massively socially conscious people. I don't think that's ever going to change. I think, it's like Schitt's Creek.
Uh-huh.
Like that mentality that they have, that's not going to change. She's not changing.
Yeah, I guess I don't understand. Like, well, no, I guess I do. I was going to say, like, you're a Christian, so you believe that God can change somebody.
Well, yeah, but that's like saying, like, if I had to say, like, look, if you have a car accident and a rod goes through your heart and your brain, you're dead. You're dead. You're gonna die. Now, obviously, as a Christian, there's always but God can miraculously heal you. Fine.
Wow, it's that crazy to you?
Well, as I said, I don't think.
I'm just throwing
out the Trumps because it's less close to home because most people in our environment aren't rich.
Right, nobody's in that situation.
So. Yeah, I'm not going to get anybody that says you're going to drive me to suicide. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think they have a shot at changing it all. And I think there's lots of people that are in a certain socioeconomic, psychological, like genetic position to where all those things come together and make it so that it's impossible for them to change. Like one of the reasons that you have to change is that you need to have incentive. So, like, if the incentive to change outweighs the bad habit, then you have a shot at winning. But when you're in a situation where the bad habit is incentivized, like a Trump, for example, how can that change? Where is the impetus?
Yeah, I mean,
where's the impetus coming from?
Well, that's the thing, because, I think that before the change, I think a lot of issues that people have are rooted in selfishness. So if you can address your own personal selfishness and you start, like making an assessment and trying to figure out like how much of your decisions are for yourself, right? And then you start realizing that like your entire life is about you and you don't really think about other people and you don't make, you start realizing you're selfish. If you start realizing you're a selfish person, then you have to assume that every decision that you're making around you is based out of that selfishness. So if you can attack that, then you can see the other issues.
Yeah, I mean, seeing an issue is one thing, but having the incentive to want to change is the other thing.
Well, if you're not selfish and you actually care for other people,
if you're lying and like you've been chomping on a steady diet of gazelles for whatever, it's not like the lion's gonna like look around and go, those gazelles don't stand a chance. Like he's a fucking. So that's my point. Like you're in a relationship. Like this is like. I've beat around the bush. Like, I've never come out and said this, but here we are. But, like, I've seen a lot of women, like, end up in really bad, abusive situations because of that. This idea that people can change. So, like, I've seen girls eat a lot of shit, because they have this idea that anybody can change. And then if you're an abusive person... You're going to use that to your advantage because you know that she has that desire, and so you could sort of excrete moments of humanity, and so it's like because she's going to look at that as a reason. I mean, that's what happened to me for about 15 years of my life. Although with that person, I honestly do not believe that she was purposely doing that. I just think it was a cyclical, type of. I don't think she was doing that on purpose.
I still think that she was making decisions on the side that had that effect. But
Dudes absolutely know that psychology. They absolutely know that, and they absolutely know the whole psychology of changing and things of that nature. And that's one of the things that was so fascinating about that show, was that she broke up with him. She divorced him because she knew he wasn't going to change.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's fascinating about that show is the cliche, they destroy the cliche, the guy who does the horrible thing, but it destroys his family, but you kind of feel bad for him because he did it for his family. And then, one of the characters has that moment where he goes, I did it for myself.
Yeah.
That was an amazing moment.
Yes,
and
I agree.
And then the moment where, she looks at the guy and says, I'm leaving you. And there wasn't a fight, there wasn't anything. She had made the decision and she stuck by it.
Mm-hmm.
That I thought was so good. That messaging, I thought, I was like, damn, that's real world. That's why it's Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is what we're referring to. I hope we don't destroy anybody's viewing pleasure. But my point is, there are times when you're with a person. What's up, Daryl McLeod? You're with a person and they're not gonna change, and you gotta understand that sometimes in relationships.
I see what you're saying.
People
No, I totally agree.
They're not going to change. Mm-hmm. And if you look at this song, he's owning it to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Because he's saying, yeah, this is my bad, yada yada yada. I'm a bad guy, blah 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 blah. But in real life, if he wanted to rescue her from the cancer that is him, he could just get away from her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's an undercurrent of, that's kind of what happened in a previous relationship I was in, and the one that you were.
I don't think mine was toxic necessarily.
Yeah, well, you were the toxic one in that relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's true.
He wasn't.
Right.
Here we are again. Will someone find a cure? Because you know me, and I know I'm not well. I always knew I'd eventually hurt you. So that's really interesting because on the one hand, you have a person saying, hey, I'm the problem. But on the other hand, it's well, if you knew you're going to hurt her, why didn't you do anything to stop yourself from hurting her?
Yeah, but I think
if you really feel bad about it, then why didn't you stop doing the thing that was hurting her?
I think that to get that toxic, selfishness is a big major part of that. And so if you're that selfish, why are you going to care that much? That you're the one that caused that.
Well, that's my point. My point is,
you're going to care more about yourself. You don't want to be alone.
Yeah, exactly.
So you want the person to stay because you don't want to be alone.
Exactly.
Because you're that selfish. You're destroying them, but you don't care. Not necessarily you don't care that you're destroying them. You don't want to destroy them, but if that's what has to happen so that way you can satisfy the comfort of their presence, you know what I'm saying? Then people are willing to do it. It's cold, it's dark, but that is what happens. They will see that they're destroying somebody and just keep.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that, and that's what I'm saying. You got to look at that data and see when you're being manipulated. Because he said, "Oh, I always knew I'd hurt you," blah blah blah, and it sounds very sentimental. And a lot of women fall for that.
Yeah,
the guy says that, and he's able to front load a lot of his manipulations already. So he'll start out by saying, everybody I've loved always abandoned me, blah 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 blah. So they start that at the beginning in the courting period when you're getting to know each other. So then the girl gets his hero complex, I'm not going to abandon you. Mm-hmm. Then he goes off and does the horrible shit that he does to you. He goes, oh, I knew I'd hurt you, blah blah blah. So now he feels so bad, he feels so repentant, and are you going to leave him like everybody else? It's never a good sign, ladies. I'm just letting you know. If the guy starts at the beginning of the relationship harping on his abandonment issues, that is never a good sign.
Nope.
Because that is going to get converted into capital as soon as you start finding some little loose ladies in his DMs there. Let me say it that way. Let's say it the best possible way I possibly can.
Sliding in his DMs, as they say.
Sliding in his DMs.
Yeah, I think if sometimes when you pull back and you just listen to actually the words that people are saying, like he said, I always knew I'd eventually hurt you. Like what you were just talking about. The idea that somebody knows that they would eventually hurt somebody but not make the necessary changes to ensure that doesn't happen is worse. So it's like you always knew and it still happened?
Exactly.
Then we have a problem.
If you physicalize this stuff, it would be a lot different. Like people wouldn't accept it.
Right. I always knew that. Yeah, like, I was going to assault you. I was going to
punch you in the mouth. I always knew. I was like everybody would be
dumb.
like, motherfucker,
like
what?
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But that's how these guys operate, man. It's I'm listening to this thing about how we're listening to this new girl in the manosphere, just Pearly, and she's like 80% of men are having a hard time finding a girl and all this. And,
is that what her name was? Okay, I wasn't.
Yeah, I think her. It's just it's more stuff where the woman always ends up being the bad guy in all those situations. Like it's never the guy's fault.
Yeah,
like it's a complete pendulum swinging the other way. But like when that's one of the things that seems to be missing in like the Kevin Samuels, like when they're giving advice to women, like there's no help as far as getting them to spot manipulators, how manipulators operate, when to know if you're even being abused. Like they don't even there's none of that. It's just stop being a modern woman, which obviously I think there's issues with radical insane third wave feminism. Obviously there are problems there, obviously, but yeah, it's just very fascinating to watch how men and women interact. I look at this song and I'm like, I have no empathy or sympathy for this dude. I'm like, this whole entire song was written to manipulate this girl to stay another 6 months with your abusive ass. Like that's how. But again, like he could just be a regular normal dude that doesn't understand why he's doing what he's doing and sincerely means it. But because of the experiences I've had, especially when you work in the inner city with women, like you just end up in that kind of situation. But very, very, very good song. Very different from the song that we just listened to. Like,
I know,
just on top of, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like a weird,
fascinating,
weird.
Yeah, that's just so interesting how you just took that last turn on the lyrical breakdown. I agree. I agree with you. It was just.
We mean the last.
What you just said about like if this was really his song and he really means this, like that this is a really big problem. You know what I mean? Like that this song itself could be like this massive manipulative tactic.
Oh, yeah.
Like like, whoa, wait. But anyway, but like you said, he could be that he wrote this, but is not necessarily like this, or maybe he let him. Who knows? Anyway, I thought that the song felt a little. So the sound of it, like I was vibing with some of that there, and lyrically, I felt like it was not as deep as I was wanting. So,
really,
I don't know if it's because they
I thought the lyrics were
repeated a lot. I think. Here we go again. Will someone find a cure? 'Cause that gets repeated multiple times throughout the song. So anyway, so it just didn't feel like it was like going a lot of crazy places. So it's 8.9 for me. That's still a really good rating. It's still a very good song, and I like the feel of it.
Who are you telling that that's still a really good rating?
Well, the homie that we may have just told him he was toxic
Mr.
and
Trump.
really bad.
Mr. Trump. No, I'm not saying that the guy who likes the song is toxic.
No. I'm talking about the author.
The author's toxic.
Right, when you said, who are you saying that to? I was saying the 8.9 to the author of it.
Oh.
I was like, well, it's not that bad.
So
that's why, because he doesn't know the rest of it.
to manipulate you already from across the pond.
No, I feel bad for him. He put all his art out there.
Oh, yeah, he put his whole heart out there.
His art!
A 7.8. His heart, she said.
No, I said art.
Heart.
But it does seem like you're toxic. Okay, what do you say?
I gave it a 7.8.
7.8?
7.8.
I'm sorry, I have to adjust my score.
No, Don, we haven't
I have to adjust my score because...
Why do you have to adjust your score? You don't need to adjust your score.
No, I do.
You can actually stay with the score you're on, actually.
No, I really need to make an adjustment. I'm going to go with an 8.2. I need to make that adjustment.
Well, there you are!
It need to happen.
It actually didn't need to happen.
It did. No, it really did.
Could have just went along the way that it's normally been.
It really did.
Rakuzi's back from Costa Rica.
8.2. 8.5.
I'll be emailing you soon about that review. We will be waiting here.
8.5.
8.5. The night has just begun, dear listeners. Sit down. Grab a cold one. Enjoy your life. Vin here. Sorry here. Friends here.
Oh no, we do. We have a couple little homies.
Yeah, we got Booby.
We have Booby, and this one is unnamed because I'm waiting for Vinny to name it. Because
Franco
I
in
come
the
up with
house.
terrible names. Or you guys could name him.
Or you could name the Anteater. We don't know what to call him.
He's a Anteater.
The next one is OSC's Tripping Song. He sent you the email you requested. Sorry.
The next one is Neptunian.
There is an email.
Yes, I know.
From OSC Tripping.
Yes, I speak English as well.
Okay.
And I already responded to one of his emails. It appears there's another one.
Did you get the most recent one?
That's why I'm clicking
OSC 7, song number 3. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Middle.
Thank you very much.
Where would we be without Middle?
What?
Commercial.
Something got changed?
I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at sorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Buy merch indeed.
A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, to buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Some of you are getting merch sent to you on the way.
Yes. Yes, that's true. You guys, if I thought I saw something in the comment section here saying that like something got switched up in the review tonight. So if you have switched the order from the list you already gave me, just resend that to me so we know. Up next on my list here is the Neptunian Maximilian. That might be
Maximalism and its Supernova Orchestra.
Okay, thank you. That's much better.
Neptunian. That's such an interesting song title. Neptunian Maximalism and its Supernova Orchestra. Okay, so it's a trailer, I guess, for trailer? Neptunian, this right here, live at Roadburn. Okay. So this is what they have to say about it. For Song 3, the original version from 2018 of the Conference of the Stars is a drone song with Egyptian atmosphere and spoken word lyrics.
Whoa.
Ooh, and here it is from their commissioned piece for the online event Roadburn. Oh, okay. So it's the trailer for their upcoming tour. Redux 2021. Oh, that was upcoming then. It has evolved into a completely different experience. The lyrics might not be correct since they are taken from the original. And the video is named This is just a trailer cut from the full show. But the correct song title would be The Conference of the Stars. Cleopatra, that goddess, the ascension. Enjoy.
Okay, so we do have lyrics on here, though. for that.
We do?
Yeah, it's clear because in the previous lyrics it had.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It had the third one.
Yes, and I meant to fix that. Mm-hmm.
Let me put that up there. See right there, Cleopatra, that goddess.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We got
Perfect.
it. We have the lyrics, dear listener.
Oh,
Vin
yeah.
and Sori always find a way.
Yeah. To fuck shit up.
To fuck shit up.
But we're going to have fun while we're doing it.
Yes,
so
sir.
whatever.
Robert. Yes, sir. We had DJ Mike here. I'm good.
All right, so I'm going to add for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year.
Wow,
now.
that's all it took, huh?
That's all it took. It's the big homie Mike. I haven't seen him in years. All right, you guys ready?
Okay. Let's check this out.
Neptunian
So make sure
maximalism, huh?
Don't make that thing big and us small. If you can help, if you don't mind, because I want to fix what the people complained about. There was only like 5 people, but still, do what you want.
So we're gonna change our entire thing for 5
Well,
people?
I think that it is a change of our entire thing to make us small and make that video big.
Not when it's a
No, because they're coming to see reactors. They said that's what they said.
All
Okay.
right. Here's a small little video because we're what's important.
No, you can stretch it. Stop being like that. You can stretch it bigger. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Oh wow.
Turn the shit up, bruh. I hope you guys are listening in the headphones.
This is messy. I like it.
Vibing on this shit. I feel tough for some reason.
Huh?
I feel tough. Badass. That hurts.
And I feel free.
Oh, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? See how they're all in a circle? Instead of facing the audience.
What?
They're all in a circle instead of facing the audience.
Yeah. Okay, look at them looking at each other.
Together! Is that a girl? I am so glad that we didn't get blocked either. We made it.
Yeah.
We made it all the way through, dear listener.
True.
All right, that was Neptunian Maximalism. Is the name of this the band.
Yeah. What an interesting style of music.
Everybody knows I hate prog, but this is. I mean, can you even say that this is prog, guys? I mean, this thing is a thing on its own, right? We've never heard a band. We have never heard a band do what these people just did. So, I mean, I guess if you want to put a label on something, you can call it prog. But I mean, was it though?
The type of noise that guy was making.
Yeah.
It was so like there are some noises that just kind of seem native to like, I don't know how to say it except other than saying there are some sounds that we don't make when we talk to each other, like that noise, but that maybe is a sound that should be part of our vocabulary. Maybe there should be a word that communicates that, but I don't think that there's a word that could because words are just, they're vibrations, but like they communicate something. And I don't know if there's a word or a vibration that could communicate what he communicated when he was making that noise.
Yeah, I think that's a very good way to put it. Is that you're taking invisible concepts. I was just talking to this dude. Shout out to all my atheist friends. He's like, give me an example of something that exists that's invisible. And I said, what you just said. Words.
Right.
They exist, but they're not visible.
Yeah.
And it's because we're using that to communicate a lot of invisible shit. I love you. Like, where you're going to put I love you, you can't put that in a lab, my guy. So, like, when you think about what music is versus what we call language, like I've said, like, for years, like, music is kind of like a language. Yeah. But if you really break it down, like you said, it's just vibrations. It's just manipulation of, air, gravity, and material to create a certain sort of vibrational pattern that then we all agree by convention communicates X.
A word which communicates some meaning,
when I say
feeling.
Cup, it communicates
right.
That we've all by convention agreed, which is just unbelievable. I was listening to Kurt John Mungle, and the guy was... his whole thing was about the theory of language and how language came to be and the irreducibility of language itself. Like, some of it, it's not like you can use language as building blocks where you can have, like, nouns and then later add verbs. Like, this shit has to function at a certain level almost immediately.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating when you think about Egypt and things like that because, man... Like, the stuff that's coming out, like, we're in the most exciting period in history. You've got credentialed Egyptologists saying, holy shit, we might have been 5,000 years off, which has massive implications. Like, that's kind of always...
1,000 years off?
Among Egyptologists, there's always been, like... it's kind of like the spooky action at a distance stuff with Einstein. Yeah. It's like there's always been like debates about the dating, and then you got guys like Graham Hancock, who's kind of like a kook. Like he's got all these theories about Atlantis, like the buried city of Atlantis. Like he believes like Atlantis is real. Like he believes it was actually like a real city. And
that's so odd that you make that face when you say it because you don't believe that could be real at all. Well, why are you making that face?
I mean, it's sort of looked upon as a platonic sort of parable. Like nobody was really looking at Atlantis like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like the Fountain of Youth type of situation. Like that's kind of like the level of. So now you've got people actually. I mean, the
Fountain of Youth to me. Wait, maybe I don't know enough about Atlantis. I thought it was just like this. City that was very rich.
Advanced. They were super advanced, right? So like they timeline wise, they would have been around like Neanderthals. So the idea that you had like this super advanced civilization that sunk under the sea, and then we forgot all of this technology, and then we ended up being Neanderthals, and then you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work with.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's trying to like harmonize.
Yeah.
what we know about, basic biology, and then trying to make Genesis 1 speak to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, those weren't meant for that. So, like, nobody even thought that Plato or any of these guys were, like, telling, like, a real story. People were looking at it as a cautionary tale, as a parable. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was supposed to be the idea. So, like, nobody really took that seriously. But, like, now you've got, Egyptologists, you've got all these, like, weird things that people, 10 years ago were getting made fun of. Oh, you got your tinfoil hat, whether it's, UAPs, UFOs, aliens, extraterrestrials, interdimensionals, whatever you want to talk about. So this whole concept is really fascinating to me relative to, like, what we know about Egypt and Egyptology, or what we think we know, how much science we actually knew. And now you've got real credible people saying, well, we might have this thing really off. And then you've got pyramids like 5,000 years. Like, you've got some of these American pyramids, like in the Maya Inca.
Some of the stuff doesn't make any sense.
Mayan Incan civilization. So my point is, like, there's a big movement right now to, like, go into the past and, like, and look at the shit again. Right, and see
if we got anything wrong.
You could say, like, okay, yeah, maybe Plato did mean Atlantis as some sort of parable, but that doesn't mean that, 9/11 is a parable.
Yep.
9/11 is a parable. You could tell but that doesn't mean it literally didn't historically happen. Mm-hmm. So, you've got these, like, the theory is that we've got all this great technology, and then an extinction level event happened that basically reset us back to zero. Right, and so that's why you've got this gap between technology that shouldn't be there from a layman's perspective, like the pyramids and how exact they were relative to the sun, versus the fact that these are very, ancient people that were extremely simple people. How did they even get the mindset to? So one of the ways to account for that major gap is to say, well, we had previous technology and shit back then, and then an extinction level event happened, it got lost, and so we reset, and so, we branched off from the Neanderthals, and, repeat process. So it's a lot of.
And what do you think? Like,
I don't know.
If you were to prop it in there, let's say you had to throw it somewhere in there in the Bible timeline.
I think biblically it's easy to get there because, you have the flood as an extinction level event.
That's what I was thinking.
And prior to the flood, you have the development of technology and culture,
right,
with Tubal-Cain and the rest of those guys.
Right.
So you could easily say, like,
that's where I was thinking, yeah.
And and Atlantis basically was submerged in a flood, and so there you go.
Yeah.
Very simple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, okay, so that's in play. Like, it's not a totally crazy idea, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I agree. It's a Eurocentric mindset to say these Africans could have never done X, Y, and Z. I get that, but when you have situations where the tech seems to be pretty highfalutin and advanced, simultaneous to the majority of the rest of the world still being in the Stone Age, it's kind of weird.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
And even if you say, oh, there was an ancient, the Egyptian civilization is actually 5,000 years older than we thought, well, you're still crediting the Egyptians with it, right? Like, you're still saying that the Egyptians are the ones that came up with it. But yeah, I mean, it's a fascinating idea. So he's specifically talking about homegirl here. He's talking about Cleopatra,
right? Yeah.
Sister without rival, most beautiful of all. She looks like the star goddess rising at the start of the good new year. This sounds like some, like, Song of Solomon shit.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Perfect in bright, shining skin, seductive in her eyes when she glances, sweet in her lips when she speaks, never a word too many.
Okay.
That right there is that is an attribute that a lot of dudes love that almost never gets talked about, because there's almost no way to talk about that without being
offensive. Without the person getting hurt, yeah.
Well, I think women 20 years ago would have no problem with it, but now it's almost like y'all are being taught that you have to be offended at everything now. So everybody's got to be offended at everything. But a woman like who's circumspect with her words and like can say wise things and doesn't need to be the center of focus all the time is massive for a lot of dudes. So like the whole never a word too many, like that right there, like that's huge. There's a lot of dudes. There are a lot of dudes that are like, you know, like it'd be really surprising, girls, like what dudes are actually saying in the locker room, because it's not what you would think it is. You know, it really isn't. But like we used to, especially in the ghetto, you know, in the hood, like you'd always have the stereotypical like boisterous, loud, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude's like, yo, that girl is so that loud bitch. You know, it's like it's there. Like you're known as that type of person. And of course, like I said, in the ghetto, it's a little bit different. You're looking like really weird now. The energy's really weird.
Well,
right
I think that's cultural. That's like a cultural thing, I think, too, because, like, well, I don't know. I was always like the loud one, and it wasn't a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like you're saying that these girls were loud, but I do think that like when I was around, well, I mean, it wasn't like it was you're saying that guys don't like it if a girl is loud, and if they're like, ugh, that loud girl, blah, blah, blah. They weren't saying, ugh, that loud girl.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
she just has to be the one that's always like the center of attention all the time, and you know, creating situations where it's like, oh, once again, this person's getting attention. Here we go. It's kind of like that. But go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I was like, kind of like, if you asked my sister, I was always like that loud person, drawing attention, always trying to tell some story.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, that's a side issue. It doesn't really.
Are you taking your experience? You're saying,
no, you were asking me what I was thinking.
No,
no, because I don't think that's like a normal experience. I'm just saying that.
Oh, I see.
I do think that depending on where you're coming from, well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, I know that like, if a girl is from Maine and she's loud, and a girl is from New York and she's loud, that is two entirely different decibels.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really sure where that line. I have only known one person that didn't say too many words and got right to the issue. As
a female?
Yeah. Tabby was she was really like that. Like I don't think I've ever met anybody that was closer to that.
Yeah, she was. Mm-hmm. She was. Yeah. And yeah, that kind of like that's a high value for a lot of dudes. And
yeah, you're right though. It doesn't get talked about.
Yeah.
Like you'll hear like about nagging, but you won't hear like.
No way. It's impossible for dudes to bring it up now. It's just impossible. If we had certain people while this was happening, it'd be a bloodbath right now. You know that. Mm-hmm. Be cutthroats all over the place. But like that's a
stop the bleeding.
But see, that's one of the reasons why this manosphere stuff blows up, is because now what happens is like dudes can't say certain things. They can't say it anymore. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, yeah, we got them to not say those things that we don't like. It's like, yeah, they all coagulated in one area on the internet now. So now they get a bunch of people together in a nice big, you know, misogynist echo chamber and say, you women need to be quiet and blah, 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 blah. So it's like people don't understand, like when we don't communicate and you don't let people tell you their honest truth, then it doesn't solve anything.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Now these dudes are going into the manosphere to complain about loud women.
Go a little bit further. What do you mean by loud women? Like, what are you talking about? Are you...
I'm just saying a woman
says
who
too many words.
Constantly has to find a way
to be the center of
attention.
attention.
Bring the attention back to her.
Yeah.
So, right here, when she speaks, never a word too many. It's like she is so confident within herself. She doesn't need to be the center of attention. So when she speaks, the only thing that comes out is meaning. It's like if you consume food, like your body takes nutrients and excretes waste, right? So like, if it was kind of a crazy analogy, but like the way that this woman talks, like there's never any waste. Mm-hmm. Like it's just pure nutrients. And if she's not going to do that, she's not going to talk. That is such a high value with dudes. And I'll tell you, that value is a value that increases with age because your life gets more and more complex.
Oh, yeah.
So when you have a person, not only is it, see, that's what I'm saying, like, it's hard to communicate because you're hearing loud, you're hearing the loud part about it. Mm-hmm. It's not the loudness, it's just the fact that a lot of what you're saying is waste. It's like meaningless. There's nothing. So I'm coming in from a hard day's work and you're just loud and whatever, and you have no depth to anything. There's no wisdom, there's no purposefulness behind what you're saying, and it's just, like, that value as life begins, as you start adulting, like as a man, like as you start adulting, that value becomes higher and higher and higher the more complex your life becomes because there's all this noise. But
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. You're never gonna get a conversation like this other than in the manosphere, because now what happens is that these dudes, they've been repressed, and they have to a degree. Like, I'm not gonna, whatever, but instead of saying we need depth, we need meaning, really what you need is you need a partner. You need an etzer. You need somebody that's going to hold you up and understand the exigencies of what it means to be a man in the world. But because like men and women are now in a situation where they're at war with each other,
right, instead
of saying like, oh, you must have had a hard day, or oh, she must have had a hard day, it's like, I have to prove that my hard day was harder than your hard day, and so now we're vying for who's got it rougher. That's why when she starts talking about men are more likely to commit suicide, men are more likely, it's like, you have to prove that men are suffering, and then once that gets established, then we can move on to the thing. And like, nobody's thinking about like, okay, men are suffering, women are suffering. That's a given in a sinful world. And that's one of the things that's convenient about a religion, is that it tells guys, you're going to suffer. It's going to be hard to put bread on the table. Women, you're going to suffer. It's going to be hard with kids. And by the way, relative to your marriage, you guys are going to be at each other's throats. Like, it says that right from the beginning. Yep. So it's like, we have templates that we can operate from and pull from and say, hey, But like, if you don't have that template to pull from, man, that now you're getting all these dudes who are just full of bitterness and anger, and they're not finding ways to communicate to the other side of the fence, because women are looking at it like, we still got a long way to go relative to feminism, and they're right. The problem is that you've got these really psychopathic third wave feminists alongside very rational, in my view, feminists that are pushing for things that to me are very obvious.
Right.
But when you have people that are saying things like every honeymoon is an act of grape. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are going to be like, all right, we out of here. So now men and women are just like...
Yeah, I think it's good to know there are certain things that are just patterned. Like, they are what they are. They're patterned. Yeah. So like, if you're gonna make a garden, and you get a book on how you're gonna make your garden and how the things are gonna grow, they're basically gonna follow like the book. You can get a book on that. And like, the same thing is true with like, like if you have kids, like everybody knows about the terrible twos. Everybody knows that by the time they turn 2 years old, they're really pushing all the limits, and they really want to test everything to see like, look, are you serious? Because if you're serious, I'll hold back. If you're not serious, I'm going to do what the F I want to do, Correct. So they're testing that out. So we have these things, but a lot of times in relationships, we don't realize that there's a playbook. Like, there's a lot of things that are very common to relationships. And one of those things being the war, like the male-female version of like battling each other, that is literally, like you said, right there at the beginning of our religion. It tells us like, hey, this is going to be a problem. So when you know that, then you can keep your eye out for it. But I mean, so yeah, I think that, I don't know how I was going to tie that in.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, you can't. Slender neck shining better, her hair is true lapis, her arm gathers gold. Her fingers are like lotus flowers, ample behind, tight waist, her thighs extend her beauty, shapely in stride when she steps on the earth. That's so funny, because I'd be like, black guys aren't the only guys that like a shapely behind, as it were. You're like, oh, it's all black guys, like most other guys like a flat...
No, I didn't say flat. I just thought, small. I just thought they wanted really like a small...
Small like what?
No, I was completely...
Small and flat are like the same thing, right?
Well, no. No, I mean, you could have
I
a
guess you
small
could be-
little bubbly butt, but like a small flat... Like small. I just thought she'd be small.
Yeah.
Like,
Like a child.
Well, I wasn't thinking about it in that aspect of it. I was just thinking like... to me,
Shit was
like...
weird,
okay,
bro.
well, I thought it was because a man is looking for self-control. Because if he marries a woman that has self-control, then she's going to be able to have self-control in the finances. She's going to be able to have self-control with this and that. Like, there's a lot of self-control needed in a marriage.
But black guys, we don't care about self-control, so we like the girl with the big booty.
What?
Because you're making the little booty self-control.
No,
So
this
then
is what I
the
thought.
big booty
Well, I
equals
didn't.
a lack of self-control. So white guys value self-control, black guys don't. Which is how you
I
are.
guess
That's how you are.
maybe
That's how you
that
are
is
now.
perhaps because I did think that black guys were the only guys that were okay with a big butt. And
All I'm saying is like this is
Yeah.
This is like again like I
what
said.
are we talking about?
When we had to choose, we chose Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe wouldn't have made it today. It was all the skinny girls with no junk that were like forced the fashion industry into their image. We weren't like that. We were like
fashion industry.
yeah, we were looking at Marilyn Monroe and the Southern Belles. Look at the Southern Belles with their dresses and shit. The shit would all come out there by the thighs. Like, what are you talking about? They had to compete with us. They weren't walking around doing that shit. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. It's like things have just changed. People are different now. Like, you can't write music like this. You can't write songs about how the girl doesn't speak too much because there'd have been a giant Jezebel. Literally, this is a magazine outlet called Jezebel. Oh my God, listen to this guy objectifying this woman, talking about her bum, saying she doesn't talk too much, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you want to look at it that way, go for it. Like, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I like,
yeah.
There's so much division now. Like shit is crazy to me. Like
There
let
is.
them, like you can't write music like this anymore to your lady.
Well, I think that like
You know,
intentionality.
You got too many of these crazy, over crazy people.
But at the same time, like a lot of crazy shit has happened, and so you have to have like these certain guidelines for like when stuff gets really crazy. I mean, it's
but
like
in
that.
art, in romance,
like-
you got to
like-
have those guys. That's got to be in your thought process when you're writing about your girl's bum.
No, that shouldn't be.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
There
yo,
should
this
be
shit is
lines.
Like, come on,
Yeah.
like see the beauty in it. See the beauty. But again, like we gotta pretend like there's no difference between men and women. So, like now that we're trying to like flatten everything and just you're just Homo sapiens. Like there's nothing unique about femininity. It's all culturally constructed. Blah. So now you can't celebrate those things. Like it's just not appropriate for a woman to be like, look at how nice and shapely my man's ass is. Like, no dude is like, did you hear what my girl said about me? She wrote a song about my bum. Like, we're just not into
I
it.
mean, I hear what you're saying, but
there are other aspects of our anatomy that we would appreciate. But if, like, I wrote you a song and I'm like, yeah, your arms are so sinewy and muscular, babe.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm a man. So it's sexy for me to be strong because one of my roles is a protector. Mm-hmm. It's nice for you to have nice, shapely hips and things like that because that communicates you can bear children. Sorry! There it is! You can call it religion. You can call it evolutionary biology. It is what it is. There are differences between us. And so when a dude...
You heard it here first, folks.
But see, that's the crazy thing about like what we're losing. It's like those opposites, those complementary parts is like that's what you celebrate. Mm-hmm. Like that's what's being missed in this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not dumb. There is absolutely a battle of the sexes, and a lot of it is just based around power and control on both sides. So like I know that's there. It exists. I'm married. But at the same time, it's like there are differences inherent differences, immutable differences between men and women.
Yeah.
And that is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Great. Does it have implications? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But and we have to deal with those philosophically, but at the same time, like when a dude is stuck on a girl and he causes a girl to she causes him to write, like it's amazing. Especially like that's the other thing too that like a lot of women don't understand about men is how men interpret sexuality, especially the sexuality when it's you and your girl and you're in a relationship. So, like, a lot of people, like, you can be extremely cynical and say, oh, he's objectifying her, blah, 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 blah. But what a lot of women don't realize is you're taking that desire and, like, you're bastardizing it and making it as something dirty. Like that is how a lot of men enter through on the emotional side. That's how they bond. That's how that expression is received for a lot of men. So when he's talking about the various aspects of her body, he's talking about all the gateways in which he feels bonded to her in a unique way that nobody else has. So that's what's going on with this dude. But there's been a lot of dudes, probably millions of dudes, that have said something like this, and nowadays it's like, oh, you're objectifying the. It's like,
maybe. I mean, I find that so hard to believe because, I mean, he's not just like. So if it's just if you're just talking about her sexually, and it's just like there's not really like anything, it's just about her like that. But he's saying, sister without rival, most beautiful of all. She looks like the star goddess rising at the start of the good new year. Like he's like exalting her, and he's talking about. So to me, it's not just because I think that especially in a world of pornography, like the stuff that we have, like those documentaries where it breaks down like the different stuff and you hear from these girls and stuff, it's absolutely heart-wrenching, the stuff that will go on in pornography and the types of videos that people want to see. And so I think that like in a world where that exists, where people will want to see women getting abused in sexuality, like that's how you want to taste your sexuality, is through abuse. What's going on with you? What's happening here? But anyway, like as society,
but
like,
you think a guy that's ingesting that, a steady diet of that, is going to write something like
no,
this?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I'm just saying that when that's there, like you're not sure, like sexuality kind of feels like it's like on this middle road, and it's like, well, where is it going? Is it that like drag you down, like abusive sexuality? Like, is this like where people are just taking from each other, like just consuming each other? Or is this like, is there something else that's transcendent that's happening in this engagement?
Yeah, but
and this
you can't
song
tell
to
the
me,
difference here lyrically. What I'm saying
this
is
song
like,
clearly is the top half. Like,
you're saying that. What I'm saying is there are lots of people who would just take one stanza, divorce it from its context, and then say he was objectifying her.
yeah, I'm sure
saying.
people would do that. I think it's ridiculous though.
And like, that's what I'm saying. Like in the conversation, like people, like, you got Democrats and Republicans, left versus right, whatever you want to call it, the corporates versus the progressive, yada yada. There's just so many teams now, and like now I'm seeing this manosphere, and the manosphere, like you have Kevin Samuels, you have Andrew Tate's the big one on the guy side. He's got, and like it's all these guys who are bitter and they're angry, and they're like, I'm gonna make a lot of money, and then the money's gonna give me power, because they're obviously not what conventionally good looking dudes, because conventionally good looking dudes generally are not that bitter, especially when it comes to women. So. But I guess 80% of women are only like interfacing with 20% of the guys, and like there's a lot of like 30-plus-year-old virgins, because girls are only interested in a certain type of dude. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But like, to me, it's like, and I'm not making fun of it. Like, I'm not. I've never felt like I was in that position. But at the same time, it's like, I'm trying to listen to them, trying to understand. To me, like, it's like victim bullshit to me. So like all these dudes are like talking about being alpha males, but they all sound like victims. So I'm not very good at listening to those guys.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm not good at listening to those guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like there's a lot of pain there, and whether or not they're consistently alpha males and all that, like. That's just a subjective term anyway. Alpha male. What the fuck does that mean? Like I said, I've been in rooms with like people who are literally the greatest of all time at like peak masculinity. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was just a guy, and I was the baby. Everybody told me what to, you know what I'm saying. So it's like this whole fashion. I'm an alpha male. You're not an alpha male if you have to listen to Kevin Samuels, dude. Mm-hmm. If you need Andrew, and I'm not disrespecting any of those people. Mm-hmm. I'm saying if you go to those people, you're admitting that you've got some deficiency. You need some help. So that takes you off the whole I'm this big bad whatever.
Yeah, and I mean there's a lot of people out there offering help too. So why is his help the help that you want?
Right. And you have to look into that. Why is Andrew Tate? Why is he appealing to you? I think quickly in my head, a guy like Jordan Peterson, to me, a lot of people trying to put him in that same category. I don't think Jordan Peterson is the same category as those guys.
No.
First of all, Jordan Peterson is an act. It's amazing to me. People will insult this guy's intelligence. The guy's a fucking doctor. He's one of the most. What are you talking? You remember that time that person so because they have a doctorate, they know everything? Yes! Yes, about the subject that they're in.
Well.
At minimum, they know more than you.
Right.
So it's but yeah, I've been really because I'm really trying to listen to it because it's the type of men that I relate to the least. The Jeremy Brown type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What?
They didn't drop like that.
Okay, the JB type guy. I can't relate to, can't understand.
Yeah, no, I can see that, yeah.
I'm listen, I'm okay, where did this breakdown happen? It's because it's y'all got some power in the media space, especially in the 80s and 90s. And then the entire mentality of the culture was shaped by a few of these people. And so now and then with the internet just completely skyrocketed. And now that we know that the folks in big tech obviously work to shape everybody's opinion. And so now what you can and cannot say has been accelerated times a million.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You got people editing themselves in normal conversation because that's how you've been socialized.
Yep.
You've been socialized to edit yourself. And sometimes that's good. But a lot of times, more than not, it's bad. So now you got guys who are not communicating what's really going on with them. You got women who believe, and here I'm just going to completely set the whole world on fire. You're never, ever, ever going to run a society ever. Especially in the Western world. It's never going to happen.
Oh, you're talking to us.
There's never going to be a time when women are going to run a culture, especially in the Western world. It's just never going to happen. And I think a lot of what they're calling fourth wave feminists are beginning to understand that and say, you know what, we don't actually need to dominate society. We just need to be able to vote, not get killed, and things will be good over here. You got the third wave people.
Why? What are they
wanting to set poor J.K. Rowling on fire?
Oh.
Go ahead.
No, we'll talk about it more later. I would want to get more details of that.
Well, it's that Pearly girl. She would consider herself the fourth wave or post-feminist. We need to submit to men. We need to listen to them and blah, blah, blah. But my point is, if men and women would listen more to each other, that's how you would cure the manosphere. Because dudes would be able to, but because we won't listen to each other, the pendulum is always to these extremes.
Yeah.
So it's unless you're a raving, crazy, insane third wave feminist, then you're listening to Kevin Samuels and telling women that, oh, you're a 5 at best or whatever. And it's okay, man, whatever. It's just we're not talking to each other. So now we miss out on beauty like this between men and women, which I think is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, this kind of
I agree.
Interplay where we're not dealing with power. And he's calling her you're a goddess, you're this, you're that. It's an amazing song, but this is where we are now. People are afraid to write music like this, and now you've got women who naturally feel complimented but have to put on this face that they're offended. It's insane.
I would say though at the end of the song,
let nature take its course, huh? Go ahead.
So I loved all of it. I thought everything was great. The end of the song though, 7 days to yesterday that I haven't seen my sister. That I haven't seen sister. And sickness has entered deep into me. I have grown heavy in my limbs. My body has lost sense of itself. I don't know. I actually thought it said something different when it said lost sense of itself. So he's just explaining how he feels when he's not around her, which I think is super cute.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, when he said, I thought he said he lost all sense of himself, but that's not what he said. My body has lost sense of itself. I think he just means He's losing touch with reality because he needs her.
I really like this a lot. My favorite
Yeah.
song so far. What do you give it? 9.8 for me.
It was
It's a 9.8 for
and it was
me.
such a banger watching them do it. So 9.8.
Yeah. Kudos to whoever suggested that official video. I
Yeah.
really appreciate
Yep.
it. I just wish we could have
9.8 as
seen
well.
more of the video and less of us. But hey!
Maybe you should get glasses.
You know, we should do that Elon thing where Elon does that little vote. He'll be like, hey, should I step down from Twitter? And it was like 80-20. Yes, step down from Twitter. He's like, all right, guys, we're going to have to redo this vote. A couple things I didn't consider. We'll re-up in the AM. Having said that, dear listener, 9.8 for me.
Same for me.
Vin out.
Sorry, out.
Gone. Holy smokes, that Elon. He's hilarious. We shall return. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes.
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull
You
that
can
off.
also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee,
Can't
a
guarantee
positive
you
review.
A positive review.
Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
And a child shall lead them to buy our merch. Are you coming?
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
I'm waiting for you to jump in.
Yes, dear listener.
All right. Oh. On the break, I wanted to fix this picture. You guys have to. Is it straight?
Sure. I mean, half of it's cut off already anyway. There's nothing we could do. All right, guys, here we have President AOC. That's a good one. Maybe Kamala could be her vice president. We're doomed.
Oh, no.
Okay, here we go. Thanos re-snapped his finger, and we are back.
Zeal and Ardor.
Zeal
Fireweight.
and Ardor.
I believe this song was chosen by Revo. I think.
Revo? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Fire.
I'm pretty sure.
Wake.
Let's go.
Sub Español e Inglés. Let's go.
Fire awake for the mothers and the fathers. No pain anymore, no pain anymore. Stay awake for the last and the others. No pain anymore, no pain anymore. Eyes open for the miracles and wonders. It won't rain anymore, no pain anymore. Every time you were so sure that nothing went right, it's coming back to haunt you and
Aha.
Aha! I think...
Song about fighting? War?
I think...
Warfare?
Okay, so Das ist Krieg is this is war against every.
Against every.
I think is the...
Maybe against the whole world? Like, we're going to war with everybody?
Das ist Krieg gegen... Where did it go? Where'd the lyrics go? Das ist Krieg gegen jeden.
Yes, good job.
Yeah, against everybody, I think.
That's what I'm guessing.
This is war against everybody. I think.
Fire wake for the mothers and the fathers.
Help
no pain
us!
anymore. No pain anymore.
Help us! Help us! If you know the lyrics to this song, let us know. Like the English. I think,
of the chorus.
I think we have it right though.
I think it is.
Das ist Krieg. This is war.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot cooler though than saying this is war. Das ist Krieg. I don't know how to do German very well. Go ahead. What's going on with you? They're definitely influenced by Metallica for sure. For sure.
All right. Yeah, I like the. It had there was some Metallica definitely feeling in there. I definitely could see the This one, it felt really heavy. I liked the heaviness of it. I didn't actually read the lyrics yet, so I'm curious to kind of get into them. What did you pull out of it?
Dwayne co-wrote this song. We actually had a guy in our village co-wrote this song. He also co-writes a lot of songs that people do.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
But he co-wrote it for sure.
There's a hella talent in
talent
our village.
Hella talent in this bitch.
Hella talent.
Okay.
All right. Fire wake for the mothers and the fathers. What's a fire wake? Is that like the fire after
Maybe it's a fire you have like in a funeral.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's like a little bonfire for your dead home.
Yeah, could be. No
fire
pain
wake for
anymore.
The mothers and the fathers. No pain anymore. No pain
Stay awake
anymore.
for the lost and the others. Eyes open for miracles and wonders. It won't rain anymore. No pain anymore. Every time you were sure that nothing went awry, it's coming back to haunt you and demand an eye for eye.
Okay, so that could be literal, or it could be you went to war with people and you did all the horrible things that people do. Later, Kai, you do the horrible things to people that you do in a war, and now you think it's all good, but now it's coming. It's going to come back to haunt you, an eye for an eye, and then it goes to the chorus. Das ist Krieg gegen jeden.
Right, I'm going to war with everybody.
Das ist Krieg. I remember very, very distinctly when I had that feeling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as a kid.
Really?
Yeah. I remember very, very. I mean, I wasn't like a child.
Well, what do you mean? Go ahead, explain.
Well, my older brother had been able to go to school, no problems, whatever. And obviously, I looked up to my older brother, and so I wanted to be like him, obviously. So I was okay, but what I didn't notice is that my older brother never had a lot of friends. He never rolled with a bunch of people. He never had a crew in school. And you didn't have to be in a gang to just have a crew of friends. You know what I'm saying? But he knew that the environment that we were in, like if you there's just too many complications, and the more people you attach yourself to, the higher the chances are that you're going to be in some conflict. And so that was part of the thing I didn't recognize. And so, like, you know, stuff was going on, and then stuff started happening to my friends. You know what I'm saying? And, like, there was one particular moment where it's like, all right, we'll fight one-on-one, we'll fight honorably. And then, you know, weapons came out, all types of shit. So after that, I was just like, okay. Because I just remember being like, oh, we weren't prepared, blah, blah, blah. You know, it was all this shit talking. It was supposed to be a one-on-one type of thing. And then, you know, my friend was coming out on the top end of it. And then, you know, it's like 4-1 as far as like what the numbers were. So like at that point, I was like, okay, like we're going at everybody. Because like we're trying to follow these rules and the rules aren't working and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it was a terrifying situation to be in, but
yeah, I bet.
But at this, it's a very distinct feeling where you're like, fuck everybody, fuck everything. Like, okay, you know. And the other thing too is like the random nature of like the shit that I was seeing. Oh, this guy's going to work, and then boom, he ends up with his face cut open. It's like it wasn't as random. Like as the years went by, I began to realize it wasn't actually as random as I thought it was.
Oh, really?
Like you're not supposed to get on a train and just be dilly-dallying. Like you're supposed to be completely aware. So how did this guy cut your face open and you didn't even know it happened? That meant you were distracted.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you start getting that. But at the time, I wasn't thinking about all this stuff. Nobody sat down and explained it to me because everybody was just reacting. So when you feel like, yo, no matter what I do, something's going to happen. Somebody's going to randomly, then you're like, fuck everybody then. So I just remember like that kind of energy, but it wasn't like a real like war. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But this obviously could also be used.
I thought you were talking about, you know, like when you're a kid and you do something wrong and you know, like you're going to get in trouble for that. Yeah. It's coming back to you. So like every time you're sure that nothing went right, because you want to make sure you did everything, you like re-looking over the thing you did that you weren't supposed to do. And you're like, I did it all. They're not going to catch me. Yeah. And then they do.
Yeah, and then you look at the verse 2. No breath for the enemies we slaughtered. No pain anymore. No pain anymore. Mm-hmm. Stand wake for the animals and laughter. No pain anymore. Every time you were so sure that nothing went awry, it's coming back to haunt you and demand an eye for an eye. I mean, look, man.
And it says, take the wood from the gallows and build a stake in its stead.
Yeah.
What do you think that means?
Well, they're both instruments of the death penalty.
Yeah. So why change one for the other?
Well, maybe one is more painful than the other, I'm assuming. Because he's saying no pain anymore, no pain anymore. And obviously, being burnt at the stake is a much rougher way to go. Yeah. Than, because you're going to, it's one of those things, you're going to die anyway. So why would you take the more brutal, painful form of dying? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But, like, that's the thing is, like, a lot of war is cyclical. And it doesn't matter what kind of war you're in. You could be in a family war. You know, like where, you know, people going to divorce court, all types of crazy shit. Like, like people, this is one of the things, like, shout out to my stepdad. Like, he never really gave me a lot of, like, fatherly advice. Like, he overheard a conversation I had one time, and he was like, just don't get anybody pregnant. Right. That was his fatherly advice. Yeah, he's my stepdad, you know. But I remember, like, one time he said, we were talking about Vietnam or something like that, because he was supposed to go, because he was in the Marine Corps, all that shit, and like the war ended like 2 weeks before he was supposed to. No way. And he would have got killed for sure. But like,
that's crazy.
I said, you know, I was talking about war, and I was talking about like, you know who won the war, and he basically was saying that they did. I'm like, how's that possible? We're America. He's like, I mean, it's war, man. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we went to Iraq and we spent like 2 weeks in there. He fucked everybody. I'm talking about the first Desert Storm. He said, nobody wins in war, son. Nobody wins in war. I was just like, what the? This makes no sense to me at all. But it's true, man. Like, it's no matter what type of war you're in, like, I learned that quick. So, like, we were in the middle of a little bit of a social war. Yeah. And I'm like, when you're in the middle of, like, a social war, like an interpersonal battle, like, especially when it comes, like, to people's egos and shit, like, people really get, like, lost in it. And they become obsessive about it. And, like, you know, and, like, there's no way... I'm very glad that, like, I learned that lesson. There's no way to win a war, especially a social media war. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't matter. They can always respond.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so, like, there's always, there becomes a point where, like, you're both just bleeding out. Mm. You know, and then, like, it gets to the point where it's like people are looking online like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
What are you guys
what
doing?
What are you doing? Yeah.
Like, so, like... And like there's this guy, like, I was talking, you know, I talked to him for a couple of years, whatever, and you know he'd want to debate, and I'm like, all right, look, let's have a debate, okay, but like any of the ad hominem, whatever, I'm just gonna block, and I usually don't block people, but this is a guy like I knew personally, and like there was no movement, so I'm like, I'm gonna shoot this video for you, and if you say any dumb shit, I'm just gonna block you. I'm done with you, and I shot the video. Of course, he didn't have a response for it, so he started with this thing. I just, see ya. Like, oh! And then, like, he was on like 4 other platforms. So he's like, I can't believe you! Just,
oh, no, really?
I'm not going to war with people over dumb shit, man.
No, I know.
I'm not going to, like, go back and forth.
For what?
I'm not going to go back and forth with silly people. And you know what I'm saying?
I think that's why. Remember, there's that verse in the Bible that it says, like, not to cast your pearls before swine.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Why would you take something of such value and throw it into a pig pen where they're just going to stomp all over it and not recognize the value of it? 100%. And sometimes, like, when you're in conversations with people, like, you got to recognize that's the type of conversation it is. Like, this person's not trying to hear. They're not trying to listen. They're not trying to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, yeah, there comes a time, like, there's no, like, so if you win a war in, like, the conventional sense, it means that you're the best at killing people, and the people that make those decisions have never had to do that. Yeah. But the people that actually action and execute that shit have to live with the ramifications of it, whether or not but like, I think it's like every 22 minutes or something, a vet is killing himself. So
are you serious?
Yeah, it's a crazy number of veterans. That's why that video that we shot is like one of the top videos that we had, because it almost never gets talked about in an empathetic way.
I bet you anything that video saves lives. It has to.
I'm sure the 5-finger death punch video. Yeah, 100%. Like, it's a terrible.
I hope so. I mean, what an honor if God used us like that.
You never win wars.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, when you're young, and you know, my Taekwondo instructor, you know, Sensei Kim, he's like, you know, the best way to win all your fights is to run away and all this. And I used to think, like, oh, he's just trying to moralize. He's moralizing, you know, Jesus, turn the other cheek, like. Listen, man, like, you anytime you're in a war, you're looking at least at 2 losers. At least. Yeah. Like, I'm going to stay as far away from war and conflict as possible. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that, like, if you understand that about yourself, like, you're going to stay away from war, whether it's social war, you know, fight, whatever war it is, I'm going to stay out of it. It really, like, it really emphasizes to you what's important to you, because like, abortion, okay, I'm going to war, I'll fight over that, and I'll lose in order to win that battle for sure, because that's a battle where I'm fighting, where like, if we win, people live. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like, all the other wars, like, there are very few things that are actually worth it, including in your relationships. Like, going to war for your relationship, great, but like, there's a lot of things where it's like, over time, you're just like, yo, I'm not going to go over war over that, because there's going to be some sort of vengeance. If you're a parent and you go to war with your kids because the kid is not, you know, listening to you, respecting you as you feel you should be respected, that's cool. Go to war with them. Get into a nice pissing contest with you and your kid. Hell, you might even take the car keys away from that rebellious-ass teenager. And as soon as that motherfucker's self-sufficient, he's out of there. Yep. So you'll win and lose it. Like, there's just so many instances where it's like, yo, it's just a lot better to not have the war.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that lately. I've been thinking, like, how can I
Holy shit!
metaphorically pull...
Hey, Michelle is having her baby.
Oh my gosh, yay, we're praying then.
Hey! Hey, Dev, that's really, really cool. You're a praying person. Keep praying. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely. Send us some pics after you're done.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What do you get the song?
So let me just finish that. Like, I've been thinking a lot about that lately in my parenting, is like, how can I metaphorically pull my kid in while still directing them where they need to go?
Right.
Like, you don't have to push them away to direct them where they need to go. You got to pull them in, keep building that relationship with them. So when it is time for them to, whatever, like, you have that relationship. Controlling other people and all that doesn't accomplish what you think. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give this one, I'm going to give this one a 9. Yep, this is a solid 9 for me.
This song is going to get a 9.4 for me. I agree a little. I think it was Dwayne who brought up the Metallica thing. It did sound pretty close to Metallica's 1. And that just, to me, that rhythm, like...
Was that a positive or a negative?
Well, it's gonna get a point or two deducted. Obviously, I mean you're taking, but I mean they added their own little flair to it. But that it's just very hard. Like you saw, we were fucking around a couple days ago, and I was doing that part. And you're like, yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun. So that hurt it a little bit. I'm gonna give it a 9.4. It's still a good song.
Okay.
And Dwayne wrote this as a relationship song, just so you guys know.
Thank you, Dwayne.
We shall return. New songs coming soon. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Go. We shall return. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at sorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, and y'all shall lead them
to buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. We are on to song numero 5.
Yes. Okay. Anna von Hauswolff.
Anna von Hauswolff.
That's pretty close.
Hauswolff.
The Mysterious Vanishing of Electra. All right.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So we have the lyrics right up there.
Vanishing of Electra. Fun fact about this song. This song was co-written by Dwayne Chamberlain. There you go. And if if you guys want proof, I've got the proof right there. Your Grace, where are the rest of the...
So if you scroll, just go above it and then scroll. Yeah, there you go.
I see.
There you are.
The Mysterious Vanishing of Electra is the name of the song. Mm-hmm. We have the lyrics. She has the voice. And We shall do it. Her name is
Yep.
Anna von Hauswolff.
The mysterious vanishing of Elektra. Let's
do this
go.
shit. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that.
That was really good. That was really good. Those notes that she was hitting, the mystery of this song, probably because, I mean, maybe it's part of like an album, maybe everything would be really clear, but I liked how it was like, well, the title, The Mysterious Vanishing of Elektra, but it kind of had some mystery in the sound of the song. And in her, what she was doing with her vocals, like some of the stuff sounded like if you prettied up some of the vocal exercises, like the going up and like kind of like letting it like kind of go off.
Oh, those drills.
Yeah, it sounded like those drills, but it looked like she incorporated that into her, like somebody that uses like exercise movements and then uses those movements to speed them up and cast them a little differently to create a dance.
That happens on guitar. Like this is a scale, a regular scale, and then
yeah,
you're like, that
that's
actually
right.
works.
You said that, yeah. So you could see. So that's what it reminded me of in there. But like she kind of like she did some like her vocals were going, and then like at the end she like changed it so it kind of had like, I don't know, this is hopefully not insulting, but it kind of had like a witchy sound to it, like when she was going off. And that was such an interesting.
She was definitely going for that.
Yeah, it was like
definitely going for that effect.
Yeah, okay,
100%.
It definitely had that like. It was very interesting. I had never seen that before. I've done things like that when I practice vocals. I think that that's kind of an interesting way of doing vocals. But it was cool to hear that like done. And the heights that she hit with her voice was wow. Especially at the end there.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing. I was like, I want to see her do that live. Although it was a live record. It sounded like that song was a
sounded live
record
to me.
So
it absolutely sounded live to me.
I forgot the name of that song, where it was about the dogs and it was about that serial killer girl, that lady. It was the Anarchy 99.
Yeah, are you talking about the one that she was like a vigilante? She would kill men to kind of like reverse because she was protecting women, like. The Arrow one?
No. It was the monster. It was the woman was a serial killer. Anyway.
Shoot. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. No, like, I don't remember.
That band, that like her vocal style was just like, I am the.
Yeah, like, that's right.
It like
forgot about that song.
There's a lot of like, thank you so much for that, Dev. That like. Powerful voice. It's kind of like Lord of the Rings, where I think Galadriel is her name.
Yes.
When she's like,
I don't know if that's her name.
When she was like talking about like what could happen. Kate Blanchett was playing the role. Like what could happen if she would. I am gonna be like that. To me is like evil. But the whole I'll get you my that doesn't sound. But to me, like that's like peak feminine power. Like you can tell that's a woman, but that is a really powerful woman, and it, like she said, like
don't get in her
I have
crosshairs.
some fucking spell. You better, you know. Well, she brought up a spell thing. I'm like, how dare you in Jesus' name, or something like that. But like, if I wasn't on my game and she didn't make it spiritual, then I'd be afraid.
And she didn't make it spiritual, right? Because she brings that up, you'd be like, I know what's happening.
Yeah. I'd figure this shit, but it's just. It's that vocal style, man, is like really lingua ignota, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But like that woman, like when she did, and that's the reason that song was so freaking disturbing to me, bro. Was like if she would have done like the squealy pig thingy in that song, the Ignota song, I'd been like, yeah, okay, that's cool. I've heard that before. Like that's one of the things that excites me about your vocal style. Like
right there, if the poison won't take you, my dogs will. Yeah. That's why you said dogs. Yeah. Okay.
But that's like. One of the things about your style, like when I hear you or whatever, it's like it's very dramatic. Like it's extremely dramatic.
Yeah, I like drama.
And like but like I love that because like the industry is just jam packed. And like once in a while on the song where it's like it comes out like on this song, like she only did it like once or twice. To me, that's like more powerful because it's like. You're trying to conceal that you're a demon, but it slipped out. Versus just, hey, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, come on, bro. Like, really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not a vocalist, but that's one of the things that I'd try to do, like, as a vocalist. Like, I would search for some way to make it cool and metal, but not the Cookie Monster stuff. Because it's just...
Yeah.
You know, it's like oversaturated.
No, I agree.
Especially if it's a woman with like a crazy ass voice, man.
Yeah.
Like that to me is like the peak right there. Like I'm like, ah!
Inshallah.
Like women, like when they get it in metal, man, it's like it's unbelievable. It's like it's crazy. It's so fun. But yeah, like the way she did her voice, man, I was like, shit, I gotta hear that shit live. But again,
But I think it really did have a live sound to it. Yep.
What did you think the song was about?
Well, again, I wasn't sure if we're like kind of in some universe, some world where if we knew the whole album, we'd know. To me, like I said, it had a bit of mystery to it.
Yeah.
Because she says, my feet are not enough, which is kind of interesting. Oh, to save me. His search is not enough. Oh, to find me. My love is not enough to save me. And then she says, you search through the forest and the bottomless sea and you cry. Push the trees, push the sky, push the air aside. You look at their faces and their meaningless loss and you cry, who is she? Who is she? Who is she to say goodbye? So it definitely had some mystery kind of to it because it wasn't super clear. I didn't know if she was something that had come around them and then she was leaving, but then they were saying who is she to say goodbye, like they didn't want her to leave. I don't know. It wasn't very clear to me, to be honest with you, what the song is about. Well, it was
mysterious disappearance, the mysterious vanishing of
Elektra.
So like you could say in the first half of the song she's incarnating as Elektra.
I mean, her feet are not enough to say. Maybe she's running because we're talking about the forest. Maybe she was running through the forest and she's saying they're not enough to save her. Because if you had bare feet running through the forest, it would be like a really painful experience. And then she says his search is not enough to find me. So somebody's coming to find her and she's running through the forest. So even though her feet are not going to carry her, the search is not strong enough to be able to find her. But then she says, my love is not enough to save me.
Yeah, I think this is probably about...
Maybe it's my love as a person.
About an abused woman who probably ends up dying at the hands of her abuser.
Oh my gosh.
So she's running away from him, but her feet aren't enough to save her. And then obviously he is trying to find her, but he's also reaching a limit. And I would say that limit is literal and metaphorical. His search is not enough. Like in the interim, he can't find her, but he could never really find her, which is probably the reason why he did what he did. I'm filling in blanks here. So, my love is not enough to save me. Because we talked about this before. Like a lot of abused women, like they'll think if they just love the guy enough, then that'll stop him from doing all this stuff. She ends up disappearing, and then it's you search through the forest and the bottomless sea, and you cry, and you push the trees, you push the sky, you push the air aside, you look at their faces and their meaningless loss, and you cry, who is she to say goodbye? So it looks to me like it's...
Or maybe there's
Go ahead.
Maybe there's like a love triangle that's going on. Maybe the feet are not enough is the woman. His search is not enough to find me is the person that she was like in a relationship with, and my love is the person that maybe she was like cheating with. So the guy is searching for her. Maybe he's like angry that she did that or whatever. Her feet are not enough to save her through the woods, but her love, the guy that she like was like cheating with, is not enough to save her either.
So you're taking the love as another person.
Yeah, my love as a person.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't take it that. I just took it as. He's a bad dude. Love? He's a bad dude, and her ability to
love him to change him out of it.
Yeah, a lot of abused women think that. They'll think, "Oh, I'll just love him out of out of his abusive thing," because a lot of times when the guys are abusive, they'll end up blaming the person.
Yep.
They'll say, everything be fine if you would just XYZ.
Yeah.
And so they blame the person. Yep. So then if the person accepts that, it's a lie. But if they accept it, then they get in this carousel believing that their love is going to be able to stop whatever craziness is happening.
Which is a lie.
She ends up dead, I think. And, I think it's societal commentary like, society will just sit there and let this happen, and you'll cry about it or whatever, but in reality, they're meaningless to you.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
You look at their faces and their meaningless loss, and you cry. Who is she to say goodbye? So it just looks to me like, because a lot of times, like with abused women, especially with abused women, like it's there. Like, you know, like after a while, people know what's happening. Like, I remember very specifically, like, this one girl at work, like, we all knew, like, her boyfriend was whatever, and it'd be like, you know, she had a black eye, whatever. I called her in the office, I was like, gee, what's going on with your eye? Oh, I fell down the stairs, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, like, that's not what the fuck happened, but what am I going to do? Am I going to say, you're lying? But, like, it's a weird situation. Yep. I'm a little bit different because I was a kid of an abused mom. So... But people wouldn't even ask her that question. Yep. They wouldn't even ask her that question. She's like, you're the only person that's like has a, you know, she threw on the attitude thing with me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, just go ahead. And she just left the office, you know, whatever. But it's like, a lot of times when like that crazy shit is happening to women, there's somebody that knows. There's somebody that knows. There's somebody that saw something. Somebody that, I'm going to say it, Dana White, UFC dude, like, he just got caught on camera smacking his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, he put out a little letter. She put out a letter. Oh, I apologize. You guys had to see that, blah, 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 blah.
What?
And everybody's, I mean, they were both fighting.
She apologized that people had to see it?
She was drunk, right? So, like...
Oh, she's talking about the whole event, not him hitting her.
The whole event. And, you know, it wasn't like he was, like, he didn't elbow drop. But at the same... But, like, you know how I am. Like, oh, you put your hand on a girl. Like, you're out. But, like, my point is, like, that's not going to affect him. Like... Everybody's just gonna move on, like, you know what I'm saying. So it's a crazy thing. I'm not saying like, hey, they can go to counseling and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a very busy guy. I'm sure there's a lot of strains on their relationship. I'm not saying like, but for me, it's just like, I don't know. There's a lot of times where you look at shit that happened to women in our culture, and you know, it's like. Now all of a sudden everybody hates on Epstein. It's like all those people knew what that guy was doing, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, even if you weren't on the list, like, that doesn't exonerate you. Like, so on the one hand, like, we'll never say that women are meaningless in this culture. We'll never say that, but like,
the actions are like, communicating something.
It's just like what Pony talks about a lot with these indigenous people. Like, these girls are like disappearing in the hundreds every fucking year, and it doesn't even make the news. Right. Like, I had a lot of like, my white friends were, you know, I forgot the girl's name, for God forgive me, but the two
Gabrielle,
yeah, whatever, you know, right? And like, she ended up missing, and there was so much of an outcry. Yeah. And people were like, this is horrible. She's a human being. It doesn't matter if she's white and blah, blah, blah. People weren't getting it. It's like, yeah, I understand that. The problem is that there's hundreds of situations like this with these indigenous girls. They just fucking disappear. And it doesn't matter. But of course, none of us would say it doesn't matter. Right. But our actions and the way that we, you know, we don't do anything. We're around an abused woman. We don't say anything. You know, people... We've seen situations where girls getting abused in the broad daylight. Nobody says anything. So nobody does anything. So it's like, oh, you know, you're crying, you're doing all this, but you look at their faces and their meaningless loss and you cry. It's what it looks like to me. It's just like, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, we truly...
Right, you search... So you're saying when they're searching for her because she was already killed?
Right, she's already
You search through the forest and the bottomless sea and you cry.
Yeah.
Push the trees, push the sky, push the air aside.
Right.
You look at their faces and their meaningless loss and you cry. So then she's looking back at them and realizing that they're all doing this, but it's all meaningless because they don't really feel it.
I think women are abandoned in this country, by and large. And, you know, it's like I always say, it's like to the girl, like, oh, this dude all of a sudden cares about you now because he's like, oh, pro-choice, you know, like, oh my God, look what happened to Roe v. Wade. It was hilarious. It was crazy because TYT was doing a review of Herschel Walker because, you know, Herschel Walker had all those, there was one situation where he drove the girl to the clinic. She couldn't do it. And then he drove her back the next day and camped out and made sure she did it. Big millionaire, strong black football player. This girl's poor, whatever. complete power dynamic there, and
got her the medicine and never saw her again.
He drove her there the second day and stayed in. I said, I'm going to stay in the parking lot till you get this shit done. And the guys at TYT were saying, it was crazy because Anna was out. The guys at TYT were saying, look how horrible this guy is. And then they said, now if you were on our side, we would allow you to be horrible. So he was saying this guy sucks not because he forced the girl to get an abortion. He sucks because he was able to do it, but he doesn't want to let you have the ability to do that to your. And they literally says like that's a really scummy thing to do, but in our world we would let you be scummy. It was unbelievable.
That's
so like
crazy.
Women have no friends in this country. Like
wow.
The main players and the main voices about women, particularly from the male side, none of them give a flying fuck about women, like at all. Like there was especially black women. For Cori Bush, she talked about the 2 abortions that she had, and she talked about how she told the guy no, and she told the nurse no, and they did it anyway. She said they put the instrument in me, which is great. They put the instrument in me and they killed her child. And then she said, so my point is women are like completely abandoned in this country. People like if women that think that they have male allies in this, okay, if they're not fighting against sex trafficking and all this shit, like I don't want to hear it. Like you see this Andrew Tate guy, I guess he got G'd up in Romania, whatever, and they initially said it was for sex trafficking or whatever. But it's like, do you honestly think that even if that was a legit charge, that dude would lose his fan base?
Yeah, right.
That's, I mean, again, everybody knows I'm not a never Trumper, but we elected Donald Trump in this country after the grab him by the junk line.
Yep.
And forget all the hysteria about Trump. Just normal politics. Like we saw a documentary on a guy that ruined his political career because he made a sound too loud. Remember that one?
I forgot like that.
That ruined. That was it.
It was it. It was over for him.
Every single presidential cycle, there was always that thing. Like, when's it going to come out? Who's going to come out and say X, Y? It was like that should have completely destroyed him. He was dead to rights on audio, and it didn't.
Nope.
Like, so if you're a woman and you really truly believe that you have allies in this country, like for the most part, you do not. You don't. I'm sorry. They will pretend that they care. And of course, after the whole Roe decision got passed, vasectomies went through the roof.
If that's
not
true,
about this song's not about abortion to me, but to me it's ultimately about how abandoned women are in Western culture.
Yeah, yes, but at the same time, think about this. If it's true that 80% of women are going for 20% of the men, if that stopped and instead they went for the 80% of the men that are supposedly virgins till they're 30 or whatever, if that's true. Let's say you did that. If a bunch of women got the influence of because right now what you have is a bunch of men that are okay, if there are men in their 30s that are still virgins, they're probably feeling bitter at this point about it. Yeah. So they're going to vote a certain way, right?
Yeah.
But if the women spread out and married these guys and started a life with each other and everybody, like they were married, they're happy together, they're going to influence their vote. And things would change differently for us. So I don't know, like maybe if we as a whole like said, okay, the system's a little fucked up, things are not really working for us. What can we do?
Are you talking about women?
Yeah, as like women as a whole. If they, because obviously this 80-20% thing is not working for us. Like if that's really true, the 80% of the women are going for 20% of the guys.
That's not new. That's not
No,
new.
it's not. But it would be new if that 80% of the women that usually go for that 20% actually said, you know what? Let me find somebody that we're compatible and we can do life together. And then a bunch of people, because then you have the whole, if they're married, their income is better. Like their life can be better for people if they get married. So if you had a whole bunch of people doing that, then, you switch it. So all the votes that are usually influenced by, guys in their 30s that are still virgins that are probably maybe going to vote more in a misogynistic way.
But there's that whole thing about passport bros. where Dethroner's talking about it.
What?
Most American men don't want American females. They go overseas to find a wife. And Dethroner's like, yeah, Pakistan, bro. Like,
right,
that's
right.
the thing.
Because that is a thing because men, a lot of times they're looking to build, they want to build, like they hit a point in their life, they want to build, they want to have a family, they want to do something, and they want a woman that's going to go beside them and do that. But a lot of women have been getting this messaging that if you're like, I don't need a man, or you're all independent woman, like that's the way you should be. But that's not.
Well, see, that's the thing is like, so
that's why they're going overseas. They want that traditional.
That 80-20 rule isn't going to solve that.
No,
problem
it's not. That is a problem.
Those Pakistani women are still going to go for the top 20% if that guy's available.
Yep.
So it's there's something wrong with the template.
Yep.
There's something wrong with what it means to be a woman.
Yep.
And what it
I
means
agree.
to be a man.
Yep.
But this song to me though is about the abandonment of women and like by society as a whole. And then that last line, who is she to say goodbye? So it looks like maybe she offed herself, maybe she unalived herself, and like instead of saying, holy shit, look at this fucked up situation that drove her to this horrible circumstance, instead they're saying, how dare she exercise any sort of autonomy whatsoever. So the last thing that they're complaining about is the fact that she exercised some autonomy. Some self-determination.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I thought it
wasn't like, let's say she killed herself, or let's say that she just disappeared. Instead of saying what are the horrible circumstances, it's the same thing with abortion. It's like when you're talking to people on our side, it's the woman has to be characterized as this evil person, worst person in the world, whore, blah blah blah, and like she's just skipping into the clinic, and it's like there's no question about, well, what are the social circumstances that keeps putting these girls in this situation, and can we address that?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Which obviously is not going to settle the issue for both sides, but it would surely bring a lot of relief to a lot of people. But we can't even have that conversation.
Nope.
Because like we cannot humanize, like there was this bit, I was looking at archiving my old emails, and I wrote this like 20-page thing to one of the heads of one of the bigwigs, like you'd know their name, and I was trying to say that we should include victimization language for women getting abortions. Like we should not characterize that. And it was like this big thing, and I had to have all these Bible. I'm like, this is just fucking common
20
sense.
pages
it's common sense
to say
and
that.
And of course,
yeah.
we're working with somebody who was literally trafficked. She would get pregnant. He would bring her to the clinic and then put her back on the street. So like, I'm trying to, and like the crazy thing is everybody knew this person's story because it wasn't a very big, it's a very small subculture. People going outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it would just clear like, nope, we got to characterize them all this way, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and I'm like, wow. Meanwhile, we have somebody on the team who's, we were on her team, but you know how religious people go with male authority and all this. It was just crazy to me. Like, yo, dude, like so women are like completely abandoned. Like, I feel so bad for them when I see these mealy mouth pro-choice guys. Like, oh yeah, pro-choice, yeah, you're fucking. Okay, let's put out a bill to eradicate the porn industry because of all the sex trafficking and destruction that's brought up. Let's see how pro-women they are when a ballot like that comes up. You know what I'm saying? Like so to me it just felt like just the entire abandonment that women that women women go through.
Yeah, no, you're right. And some of the things that we saw, like I remember that time that girl she came by, I was talking to her, I was trying to tell her like that, there was other options and we could help her out and stuff, and she stopped and she turned around and she looked at me, and like the guy that was with her literally put hands on her and pushed her into the clinic. Oh yeah, I remember that. Literally pushed her in, and then he turned around and looked at me and told me to shut the F up. Yeah. And I was like,
real tough guy.
Wait a minute. So like when you look at situations like that, it's like, yeah, who is this for? Or when you sit down and you talk with somebody who did have an abortion and they regret that decision, and it's a decision that they can't reverse, and like they have to work through the feelings and the emotions and everything that isn't in that. It was a life. There's going to be some
space delver, Crazy.
It's going to be.
Government in America has become the husband of American women. Ooh.
Yeah, they said that was the point. Like, I was reading something, and they were saying that was what the government was shooting for, and that's what's happened. That's why I don't know if it was true where I was reading it from, because I couldn't tell you but they were talking about that, and they were saying how they wanted to set it up that women would go to the government rather than relying on a man, and so then the government has more control.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what happened in the black community for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. That's why all the black ladies voted for Joe Biden. all the brothers are like, what the fuck? This thing, look what he did to us. I'm black, man, fuck you. He gonna write us a check. That's what they said. Plus, a white lady on the news told me Trump was racist. Don't let me start. I'm feeling spicy today, boy. All right. Why are you streaming at 1 a.m.?
Why are you streaming?
We're just getting started in this bitch because we're committed.
Yeah, I know. We're only halfway into the stream.
We are committed, JG.
All right.
All right.
This is a 9.9 for me.
This is a solid 9 for me. A solid 9 for me. We are coming right back at you, beautiful people, with more reviews on the way. Vin out.
Sorry, out.
Go. Because we're nocturnal creatures. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at sorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
Rubbish. That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
They do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
Up next on our DJ stream is Big Wreck. Look what I found. Mojo put this song out to us. Big Wreck is one of the... Big
Wreck?
Mm-hmm. Is one of those bands that continuously flies under the radar. The band is technically a Canadian band, but was formed in Boston, Massachusetts in 1994 while the founding members were in college. Look what I found is a song from their 1997 debut. And it perfectly illustrates the eclectic nature of the band. The songs on this record were written at the height of the grunge era, so it's So it's impossible not to hear that in the songwriting and production. But these guys were also influenced by the blues, country, and bands like Led Zeppelin. And much like Led Zeppelin, they were sponges, just soaking up bits of music that turned them on and spitting it back through their filter. They wear their influences on the shirt sleeves, but the music still ends up sounding uniquely like them. No song on their record sounds like any other, and every record sounds different from the last. Okay. And I have to say something about their lead singer and guitar player, Ian Thornley. This guy is crazy good. I never noticed back in 97, but I instantly hear it today, that when Ian gets up into his higher register, he sounds almost exactly like Chris Cornell. Have a listen and tell me I'm wrong.
Whoa.
Fun fact.
He brought up Chris Cornell.
He did.
It's almost blasphemous in these parts. Go ahead. What were
Ian
you saying?
Thornley was approached to front the band Velvet Revolver. He turned down the gig. All right.
I think Velvet Revolver, isn't that, I think there's like a famous artist.
Yeah. I'm Velvet Revolver.
Guys. Big Wreck, look what I found. Did they put the lyrics up there, you said?
I'm sure they have them. Oh.
I was about to announce Velvet Revolver.
No, don't do that.
Here we go. Big Wreck, look what I found. Let's do this. Shit.
Yes, the lyrics are there.
Where'd you go? Big Wreck. Here we go, buddy. All right, look what I found. Let's do it, baby. Wait a second.
Is it wrong?
This is an entire hour. Where on the what song is it? What's the timestamp?
Well, I do see it does say full album. Okay, so
Look
we're
What I
looking for
Found.
the song Look What I Found. I'll be able to tell you in a second.
Stand by, dear listener, unless you guys want to, sit here for an hour. I'm
Look
sure
What
you
I
guys
Found
don't
is from 9:44
9:44
to 14:42. I'll send you that in a text, okay?
I don't need it.
Well, just in case you forget, you can look at that instead of asking me mid-song, okay?
Okay. You sound like Orion when he's trying to be polite.
I am. I'm trying to be polite, but I don't want to be interrupted during the song.
I see. That's what's happening. All right.
That is what is happening. You
right.
read me well.
All right. Later, Riv. Yeah, I can already tell no song sounds like the other one. Staley too. See some Lane Staley in there.
Take a look around. Look what I found.
Yo, that was a mistake though, bro. That was a mistake. You should have took that Velvet Revolver job, bro. Honestly. No, they're like a legendary band.
I
They're
know.
legendary
It's just
band.
funny to announce that right
Like,
now.
it's the first time I heard. It's the first time hearing you, bro.
Yeah,
Like, you were mega talented.
I think you
I
may
guess
have made a...
he stayed with his band because he didn't want to put his guitar down. It's like, my guy, just do Velvet Revolver and then play it as a side project. And then people go, holy shit, dude can play. Maybe you should play in Velvet Revolver. You should have stayed in Velvet Revolver. You can't pass up a gig like that. It's like you do it in a garage
You're
band.
right. You're right.
Korn calls you up like it's over.
You're right.
It's over with. You should have went.
Yes.
Okay.
So didn't it sound like we were talking about stuff that was like...
Look at this. Google. You two are so cute.
Oh.
Get it? Google.
Google.
Yeah. You two are so cute. We're right back at you.
It's fully operational. Okay, I was getting from the beginning where it was like these like moral things, like it's fully operational. You don't even have to sell. I rooked it, but what the hell? Oh, it's someone else's soul. Oh well. Like is he like? There's a vehicle. He's saying it's fully operational. We don't even have to sell. Like it's so good. You don't even have to really sell it. Like we don't need to sell it. I rooked it, but what the hell? Like rooked it, like kind of like rigged it. It's someone else's soul. Oh well.
Yeah, I'm not sure that those lyrics are exactly like right. I see some variation on the. For example, it says, "How can you steal their sum?" Genius has it as, "How could you steal their sound?"
Oh yeah, that's what I got down here too. How can you steal their sound? Which I mean, it to me sounded like they were talking about objectionable stuff throughout the song. It's stolen, but it's okay if integrity says no way. Well, now it's here to stay. Let's go out and play.
I think this is about. I think this is about the music industry actually. And it may actually be a diss to Velvet Revolver actually.
Well, down here
because he's claiming that somebody stole his sound.
Right? That's why I highlighted it. How can you steal their sound? But then he says, keep your ears below the ground.
Right.
The underground scene.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
take a look around. Look what I found.
Right. Look what I found.
Yeah.
We're the ones that found the style, not you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are biting our style, basically. So it could, in a meta universe, actually be a diss to Velvet Revolver. It could be them saying, I don't want to be part of your smelly band.
Right.
I'm the one that came up with this sound, bitch. That's what Korn was doing before Follow the Leader. They dissed everybody on that track, bro.
Really?
Yeah, because the entire point of Follow the Leader was like, they were like, yo, all you guys are biting our style. We started this shit. Now you guys are all following us. Mm-hmm. So and now we're going to separate ourselves from you guys. And they did. They absolutely did. That record, that Follow the Leader record was like,
crazy.
It was like the most evolved a band has ever been since Justice and the Black Album, in my view. But anyway,
see, I don't know Justice and the Black Album, but it definitely sounds really significant.
This is from their first record, long before Velvet Revolver. Well, there you go. That even makes it more.
Wait, so
maybe
they weren't even around yet.
The disparate members of Velvet Revolver were taking that style. I think that's what he's saying. Because look, it's solely operational. So you're making it's a business now. It's like operational instead of like art, which is supposed to be, from your heart, from your soul, not an operation, right? And we don't even have to sell. I roped it, but what the hell? It's someone else's. Oh well.
Yours is roped. Mine is rooked.
Rooked. I've got roped. Let's see what the Genius says.
Maybe it's supposed to be roped.
I rooked it.
Yeah.
But what the hell? It's someone else's soul. Oh well. See right there, it's someone else's soul.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you're selling music, you're selling souls. Like, this is like the record execs. They don't really care about the art. It's just an operation to them, that type of thing.
Yep.
It's stolen, but it's okay. If integrity says no way, well, now it's here to stay. Let's go outside and play. Mm-hmm. So you stole our shit, and your integrity is telling you to you can't do this, but it's like, let's just go outside and play. Well, I suppose so. Well, I never really did want to know. How can you walk around with your feet up off the ground? How can you steal their sound, keep your ears below the ground, take a look around, look what I found? Mm-hmm. So you're walking around like you're this big rock star or whatever, when in reality, you are you stole that.
Oh,
and now you're going out playing when you know you bid all these other people's style.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How can you feel good about that too?
Well,
I mean, how much of their stuff are you really biting?
There's a lot of ways that people could, because first of all, it's like, who is completely like?
Yeah, nobody's
original.
Building something from nothing.
Like,
exactly.
Who's being you know what I'm saying?
Right. Everybody's taking something from somebody.
And we've been to enough shows to where it's like, there's really not a lot of difference between this band and this band, talent-wise.
Oh, absolutely. Like, yeah.
You know, most of the bands that are up there, it's like, you guys aren't, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You're not, you know what I'm saying? Come on. You know,
yeah. Well, the thing is, I wouldn't necessarily notice it, but sometimes you'll be like, look what he's doing on his guitar. Look what he's doing on the thing. And I'll be like, what? I could do that. Yeah, there's a lot of things about making it as a band than just the art form. Yep.
Like, there's a lot of things that go into it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, good artists borrow, great artists steal. Like Metallica has stolen a bunch of shit. Like, there's a whole YouTube thing where the guy goes, look at Metallica, and like, but it doesn't matter because it's Metallica. But we just listened to a song where they copied the one riff, you know, the break, and like, everybody knows. Yeah. And you know what? What's the name? Fear Factory did that, and like, oh, that's the one riff. Like, everybody knows. Mm-hmm. When Korn was playing, everybody was doing the.
It's just too good. People couldn't pass it up.
And all the record executives wanted you to do that. They're like, listen, grow
people
dreadlocks.
Like this sound right now.
Grow dreadlocks. Wear hip hop clothes. Well, I don't like hip hop. Well, those guys in Korn like hip hop. Wear hip hop clothes and just do the da thing.
Oh my god!
And like, that happened. There was a lot. I mean, we saw that band, and I'm like, you know, the guy was hitting his guitar, doing all types of shit that didn't change the song. Like, the shit was just trash, man.
He slid it on the speaker.
Yeah, like
completely ruined those notes.
Pink Floyd is like, okay, that's a moment, man.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like Tool, okay, that's a moment. Mm-hmm. Korn, feel how you want to feel. That's a moment. Like,
yeah.
I'd say Nirvana. Like, this sound.
Oh, I agree.
Like,
Nirvana,
this sound
for sure.
is unbelievable. Like, this sound, like, I get it. I understand why it got big. It definitely sounded extremely dated. I don't know enough about music to know, like, that this band was, like, the real deal and everybody else stole off of them. Like, I just think that it takes a lot to be successful.
Yeah.
And originality separates good from great, or great from all time. So, like, if you can be, like, the more original you are while being successful, you're going to have a higher... So, like, for example, like, Tony Iommi, to me, is always going to be... Because to me, he originated pretty much every form of metal I'm listening to right now, like, on his one instrument. Like, he felt like in a kind of slow-paced move. Great, now we've got sludge. Like, the guy, like, to me... Like, so, like, originality is part of... But how much of it is like... the emotion. So, like, a lot of these violinists, like, mass majority of violinists, they're not famous because they come up with original pieces. Nope. They're famous because they can do
pour their soul right out of that instrument.
Yeah, they can physicalize what we're all feeling with those. Yep. Okay, so are they not good artists now because they're just copying?
No.
Because their claim to fame is how well they can copy? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's deeper than that. Can you express yourself? Like, are you in pain when you're playing this violin?
Yes.
Am I feeling your pain?
Yeah.
Is there joy when you go into that major section?
Yes.
Am I feeling the joy? Like, there's a whole bunch of things that make artists art. That's why I said, like, me, like, I know if I'd have met you, like, in high school, like, I know.
You
know what I'm saying? Because it's not just one thing. Oh. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. No, you're completely right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I think Tools Lateralis. I think Tools Lateralis. Yeah, so like, I get what the guy's saying here. Like, this is a bragging song. Like, yeah, boy, like, you took our style, blah, 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 blah. And, like, anytime you have artists, that's always going to be acclaimed. Like, all the way back into the Islamic era, like, where they were rap battling. You're like, oh, you stole my thing, Abu Bakr. You know, like, I'm gonna show you some mocker. You know. Anyway, what do you give? What did you give?
Okay, I'm gonna give it. I'll give this one an 8.9.
This song is getting a 9.4 for me. It's getting a 9.4. I like the attitude in the song. There was grunge is an interesting genre for me because, like, it's not as explicit as, like, metal. Like, metal will be like, fuck you. You know, grunge will be kind of, like, quiet and brooding. And you'd be like, what did you say to me? What did you say? And then, like, you get real close and they're like, fuck you! Yeah. That's kind of grunge. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the grunge. All right. Final answer is a 9.4 for me.
8.9 for me.
All right, we got more music coming your way, bitches. We've only just begun. Vid out.
Sorry out.
Go. I'm Vid.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village. Facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Buy merch indeed, and y'all shall lead them.
To buy our merch, babe. That was loud. Okay.
All right.
It is, 1:26 a.m.
We're still here.
Yeah, we're still here. We've had our coffee,
so
so we're here. Gangs is in this bitch. Speaking of bitch, the name of the stream is Happy New Year, bitches. Hopefully none of our parents look at any of these streams. We love you, Mom, Dad. Okay, anyway, up next is Blue October. Yay, Blue October's up now. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this one.
Really?
The name of the song is Home. And then hear the lyrics. Yeah. I really think I really like their band. The last review we did, which was just like a couple streams ago of Blue October, I enjoyed. So I am very curious to see where this one's going to be. Do you have that song downloaded?
What do you mean, do I have it downloaded? Of course I have it downloaded.
Okay, well then let's do this thing. Blue October Home is up next. Let's go.
Let's go. Lyrics on the video.
I'll smile if I want to. I'm not afraid, gonna flaunt it too. Wanna glow when you're living true. Yeah. I'm living for the right now. I had a few friends show me how, yeah. I take a deep breath and blow it out, let it go. But listen, I can't wait to see what's around the corner. I can't wait to soar. Baby, I lie awake and I watch you sleeping, thinking it's the little things that make a home. Like dancing in the kitchen in the pale moonlight, only care in the world is that our kids are alright. Daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. So smile at me, baby, take my breath away. With the good Lord willing, I'll be happy to say that daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. I feel like I'm gonna win, and I'm as proud as I've ever been, 'cause I'm surrounded with some good friends, yeah, good friends, good friends, I'm forever like a tattoo, yeah, I stay sticky 'cause I gotta be the glue for my girl, my friends, my home, family, I do it all, truly, I can't wait to see what's around that corner, I can't wait to soar. But baby, I lie awake and I watch you sleeping, thinking it's the little things that make a home, yeah. 'Cause we'll be dancing in the kitchen in the pale moonlight, only care in the world is that our kids are alright. Daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. So smile at me, baby, take my breath away. With the good Lord willing, I'll be happy to say that daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. We found our home, something we can build for years. Young and old, I'll be there to wipe your tears. We all get to see who we grow up to be. An anchor when it down, an ocean when it dry. We aim for it all. We lift up these walls to make this house our home. Dancing in the kitchen in the pale moonlight, only care in the world is that our kids are alright. Daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. Smile at me, baby, take my breath away. With the good Lord willing, I'll be happy to say that daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. Dancing in the kitchen in the pale moonlight, only care in the world is that our kids are alright. Daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. So smile at me, baby, take my breath away. With the good Lord willing, I'll be happy to say that daddy loves mama and mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again.
That.
What's going on with you, Yarasola?
Well, it was like such a perfect song. It was such a beautiful song. I knew it was going to be such a great song.
Whoa, congratulations, Michelle and Dev. Michelle had the baby at 1:30 a.m.
What a perfect song for that announcement to come in
I know, what a crazy song.
Oh,
you
my
gotta play
word,
that song,
yeah.
to
wow.
Michelle.
That's crazy.
Holy smokes, that is unbelievable.
That could be you guys'
Morgan
like family
Atreus
song.
O'Rourke Johansson.
Oh, congratulations.
Talk that shit, young
yeah.
king. That is amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, and it really is very interesting that we got this song.
Yeah.
As that was playing.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so what's going on with you? You seem very affected by the song.
Yeah, it's I just want to bring up the lyrics. But I want it on Genius. Right here. Okay. Oh, it was just like I did not expect the song to be like that good. One, like I said, the last time that we heard a Blue October song, I was like, oh, I like that, but I wasn't like completely sure, like, do I definitely like this band? And then this song came in, and like the lyrics were, why is it not coming up? This is so not cool. Oh, I feel so emotional right now. Like when you're like trying to swallow.
Right there. Lyrics are right there.
Yeah, I just like stuff on Genius. I just like the way that it's set up. I'll smile if I want to. No, this is not it. Oh no, it is. I forgot how the beginning of the song had started.
Okay, so we got the lyrics right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was it that got you so emotional?
Like our family, like, like just bringing it down to like, like the simplicity of like, just like, when it was talking at the beginning about just like letting things go. And like, I think that that's super important. Like the more things that we hold on to as people, the more like it destroys us inside. And so like, quick forgiveness for other people and things are really important, because anything that you hold on to is going to affect the people that you love and care about the most, because you spend the most time with them. And so just like listening to this song, like that Let It Go part, just I like just felt that, and then the lyrics are so tiny, but like just like at the end of the day that Mama loves Daddy and Daddy loves her, like that whole thing, like just like having that stability for the family. And
I blew the lyrics up for you.
But then like the excitement of like, I can't wait to see what's around the next corner. I can't wait to soar. I lie awake and I watch you sleeping, thinking it's the little things that make for a home. Ooh, I'm so emotional. This topic is so like heavy for me, like the last probably year or whatever. Like, well, you guys have been around for so long with like as part of our journey, and you guys have seen so much of us. And like I know like throughout the years, like I've complained about where we've lived, and like I wanted things to be a certain way and they weren't the way that I wanted them to be, and because of that, like I would complain. And like I just see things so differently now, and I'm like, literally, like that's been happening, like where I look around and I'm like, it's crazy, like what actually makes for a home. Like it's not where you are, but it's like the family and how everybody connects with each other. And like, does everybody understand that they're loved by each other? And just like family, like being like just the idea of family and stuff. And I just love what we're creating here. And the song was just so beautiful in that family sense. And then like dancing in the kitchen in the pale moonlight, like so these basic things. Only care in the world is that our kids are all right. Daddy loves Mama, Mama loves him. Tomorrow we get to do it over again. So smile at me, baby. Take my breath away. Like just this sort of simple life that can be had by people. Like things can get complex around you, but like at the core, like does everybody love each other? Like, are you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it makes me so emotional.
Yeah.
And then he says, like, I feel like I'm gonna win, and I'm as proud as I've ever been because I'm surrounded with some good friends. And like, you guys have been that, like, for us, for real. We didn't even feel the impact of COVID because of you guys, like, because True. This was our crew and our community before that. True. So like we were already connecting with you guys, and then like COVID struck and we were still able to connect with you guys. So, and yeah, you know what I mean? So like we didn't really feel the impact of COVID so much because of you guys.
Yeah, I remember reading like,
and this part made me think of you.
The Justification of God. It's by John Piper. It's this very complex defense of the sovereignty of God, whatever you want to say. All these complex, Justivia, Distributiva, Arminius, Calvin, libertarianism, all this stuff. And then like at the end of the book, he's like, yeah, so really all of this is so that you can do good works and glorify your Father who's in heaven. I was like, what?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like, all of this big,
my
giant,
gosh.
complex, like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, so now that you understand this lemma here in Genesis 15 and how it relates to this Kai in Romans 9:3, it's because of, and it's, just glorify your Father. So it's like,
good for him. That's interesting to do that.
life is weird, man, because there's all this like really significant shit that goes on and things that complicate your life. Mm-hmm. It's the thing I tell the boys a lot. Like, you have a safety net in this house, bro.
Yep.
Like, when you get out into life, like, this shit is for keeps, bro. Like,
right.
Certain mistakes can't be made. Like, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? And like but at the end of the day, like, what I'm trying to secure for them, I don't know what's going on with our camera, but what I'm trying to secure for them is a future where they do have that simplicity. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, exactly.
That, I sit down
That's
next to
goal.
you, like you sitting with me and talk, we play Madden. Like, when you get the chair and you sit next to me while I'm playing Madden, that's like so major for me. And it's funny to me because I hate losing. I hate losing.
Yeah.
And I really hate losing close games. And I've lost two one-point games, dear listener, where I could have tied it and decided to go overtime, but I went for it. You were there, you're like, let's do it, babe. And it's so funny because you'll be like, yeah! And then, like, if I throw an interception or something, because she doesn't know, like, to this day what the fucking teams are. She just goes by the jerseys, but the jerseys change all the time, so she has no fucking clue. So I'll throw an interception, and she'll be like, yeah, babe! And then she'll check on me, and I'll be like, fuck! And then she'll know. And then she'll go, ah! Like, it's just...
I'm trying.
Yeah, she's trying. If it was the real world, she'd, whatever. But, like, I want the boys to, like, experience that shit.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of, like, we're a big picture family, so anytime we talk about any of these topics, it's always big picture shit, like, this is how we're going to take over the world and all that. And I, like, completely believe that. Like, that's absolutely my goal. People are like, oh, you want to impose your of course. Absolutely. Absolutely, I want to impose my Sharia fucking yesterday. What you want?
Life would get really good for people.
But like, the boring stuff too, but it's not boring, like the mundane, like the everyday thing. Like, it's actually good for me. Like, it resets me. Like, sitting down and playing a game of Madden or two with you, like, chills me out. And like, we talk about shit or we're listening to stuff, like, it chills me out, bro. Like, and I look sometimes, I'm like, I never had that, I never had that. So, like, I don't even know what I'm, like, experiencing. You see what I'm saying? And those guys who were talking yesterday, and they were like, I was very surprised to hear, like, 2 or 3 of them, like, say, be his peace type thing. Like, 2 or 3 of those dudes were saying that. They were not religious people, but, like, it is a cool thing, man. Like, you got that person that becomes, is your peace. And yeah, life is simple, man. Our life is there's a lot of outside complexity, but, like, inside, it's actually really pretty simple.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing on Sunday. I was like sitting back and I'm like, wow, like when you kind of sit back and you look at it overall, it is a very simple, and that's kind of one of the things, like, when I think about, when it's time for us to move, like, that's going to be a strange transition because we're all kind of like in this time, in like this small little area, you know what I mean? And like, we've gotten used to that. So like, when everybody's spread out, like, how I'll be like, everybody needs to meet in the living room right now.
Yeah.
I need to see everybody.
Yeah.
But
and
just,
I think you're going to find that they end up in each other's rooms all the time.
I think so, yeah. But yeah, I definitely think that there's something simple about the way that we're doing life with these kids.
Yeah, and I when you had the relationship I had previously, like, I used to say, I wish I could fight about shit that normal people would fight about.
Right.
Because,
yeah.
it was a very You know, so like even the
unique relationship.
Even the conflicts we're having, I'm like, okay, these are the conflicts I read about in the books. Like, it's not fun, but I'm like, okay, like I'm in an actual relationship. Like, we're in a mutual relationship. It's not me like being a traveling hospital for 15 years, which you know. So yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool, and I'm liking, like, you know, I'm liking where we are. A lot of this shit was hard fought, but
Oh my god, yeah.
you know, like, as long as you keep the goal, I think especially people who are metalheads, like, it's hard to, like, really conceive, like, you can actually be happy. That's such a simple thing, but, like, you know, you just gotta manage your you know, whatever. And I'm very goal oriented, so I always want to have, like, a, you know, whatever, but, like, you can truly be happy if you don't give up on it. If you don't give up on it, you can really be happy. I think.
I was thinking about how, like, when stuff happens, like, maybe, like, if I go to grab something in the cupboard and, like, 4 things fall all around me when I pull the one thing out, and how frustrating that feels to me. And it's like, oh, this again, you know? Like, I was thinking about how if we have the mentality of this again when something happens to us, rather than the mentality of, like, okay, you know what, stuff's gonna go, there's gonna be a bunch of things that are gonna go wrong today. Like, oh, there's one of those things. Oh, there it is. Like, just, like, sort of this expectation, I guess, that, you know, your life's not going to be perfect. There's going to be a lot of, you know, things are going to make you uncomfortable today. Things are going to frustrate you. Things are going to make you angry. And all of that is just training grounds to try to, like, can you manage yourself while still communicating with the other person? Like, can you guys still keep building what you're trying to build while at the same time being true to, you know, what you feel internally? I don't know. Like, it's an interesting, you know, kind of thing to look at, but I don't know.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, man, whether it's, like, if you conceive of, like, oh, fairy tale land of a village or whatever, it's still gonna be a dude, his girl, a couple kids, little fence, maybe a lamb or 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's got the neighbors over there. It's a bad guy on the other side. You strap up a little bit every now and then, go over there. Like, it doesn't matter, like, where you go, you're always going to start with Adam and Eve, period. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the story, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, there's something very powerful about that. And it was crazy, like, listening to that whole thing, like, the whole manosphere discussion, like, and 80% of women are with X% of men and all this and that stuff. And I'm just like, damn. Like, that would be hard, man. To be in a situation where, like, you want that kind of companionship
and you can't get it.
And you can't get it. It makes me feel fortunate. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you not take it for granted, you know? Like, you know, a lot of these discussions devolve to sex or whatever, but, like, at the end of the day, it's like, yo, you got nobody to, like, watch you play Madden. That shit sucks, bro. Like, it would suck to be in that situation. So, you know, it's weird because there have been a whole bunch of different selections, but there seems to have been a theme through the night. So let's see if there's one more song. What do you give this one?
I would give this one, shoot, I was going to say something about the Madden thing, but okay. I really liked this one. I'm going to give this one a 10. This is a 10 for sure. This is an 11.
You got an 11 for this one? Yeah. Shout out to Michelle and Dev, huh? Like, as if we had a Village Baby. As we were reviewing music.
This song!
As we were reviewing, this kid was coming into the world, man. You guys know what we're about. You know, like, we love life. So
yeah, and I think, too, that that's
thing.
super significant because when this is their first kid, right? You know, when a baby first comes into a house, it changes everything. And so you got to kind of try to find that, like, you know, stuff. Maybe your shirt has spit up on it if you're the mom, and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, people are frustrated because there's the lack of sleep, and, you know, there's just a lot of stuff going on. But if you just, like, bring it down to, you know what, at the end of the day, like, we're doing this together, and, you know, you got spit up on your shirt today, I'll get it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, well, we're doing this thing together, and this song is just, like, brings that family down to that simplicity and just that mom and dad are happy because.
So they got a boy and a girl now.
lot of times
they got a girl and a boy now.
it's still going to change. You know, you get another kid coming home. It's just,
1 to 2 is a major change as well. But like, don't take that for granted. You know, if you're lucky enough, you're blessed enough that another person's going to commit their lives to you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, and then you like, it's such a blessing, man. Like, don't take that person for granted. Don't take that guy. Don't take that girl for granted. Like,
yeah, for sure.
You know, so
for sure. Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing, and it sucks that there's people that are not experiencing that.
Yeah.
The show. Okay, I'm gonna give this song a solid 10. It's the only 10 I've given all night. So I think it's actually a little bit brave to be able to be this whimsical about love in this day. Look at this.
Absolutely.
2016, 2017,
2016. Yep.
I think it's a really cool.
I love this one.
It's cool to be that upfront about it in this day and age, because everybody's so cynical and everybody politicizes everything. And it's like a lot of the songs tonight have just been about like the meat and potatoes and the building blocks of life, man. And that's what it's about. I love it. We have one more. Speaking of building blocks, what did you rate it? I gave it a 10.
Oh, good. Okay.
Speaking of building blocks, we've got the building blocks for most of guitar I've heard by a fellow by the name of Jimi Hendrix. I don't know if you're familiar. We shall return with him, dear listener. We'll be right back. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at sorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Yeah, see, it's only... buy merch indeed, a child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, we're having a discussion amongst ourselves about what we're going to do.
Yep.
I think we only have one strike.
Okay.
So the last time, guys,
I'm with it.
The last song we did.
Metal. It's metal to live on the edge like that.
Yeah, the last time it happened, guys.
All right, last time we did Jimi Hendrix, the homie got us blocked.
Yeah.
So we got shut down, and we were shut down for a while. Our channel would not let us do anything.
Yeah, they shut us down for a week, and there's something else, like you couldn't do something for X amount of days or whatever. But we're not afraid.
They severely punished us. So now we're here again with Jimi Hendrix. The song is Killing Floor, and it's live at Stockholm, I believe, which was similar to what we did the last time. Maybe the same thing, but we're just going to do it. Right? Because we're just gonna do it. Yeah, because we have one strike right now, so this will be strike 2.
Right.
So
we should be okay.
Yeah, we're gonna try it. That's metal. I feel like that fits our channel. So,
yeah, 100,000%.
Shout out to us.
This is the best Jimi Hendrix video I've seen, in my opinion. All right, here we go.
All right, let's go.
All right, guys, here we go. Lucky number 8, Jimi freaking Hendrix live at Stockholm.
Yay!
Let's go. This one was purified, he said. All right. So he purified it. So
Okay,
let's see.
let's see.
Good, good. Time now for a little bit of electric church music. Yeah, that's how the band like to call their music. And the band, the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
What's the name of the song?
Killing Floor.
Killing Floor.
Hello, how y'all doing? I'd like to dedicate this show to the American Deserters Society.
Dedicating this to you, Christopher. They're doing the sound check live, dear listener.
I'd like to also dedicate the show to Eva, who keeps singing Roses, but we've never seen her before, so. She's a goddess from Ansgard. We're gonna play nothing but oldies but baddies tonight, because we haven't played together in about 6 weeks. So we're just gonna jam and see what happens tonight. Hope you don't mind. We're just gonna mess around this jam, see what happens.
You wouldn't know the difference anyway. foot stomp with the bell bottom, bitch. Jimi freaking Hendrix! I'm mega loud. It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
I know, but there's nobody there anyway.
Yeah, it's nobody there.
It's fine.
We're the worst neighbors of all time. Hey, we were able to make it! It was the purified version.
Yep, excellent. It looked like it wored.
Good job, Middle Earth. You gotta tell me how to purify them songs, bruh.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Okay, this is the question. Is Jimi Hendrix great but not timeless? Or do you think he's great and timeless? Or do you think he's neither? I mean, but
I think
that's just silly.
I don't think that I am qualified.
No, just from your opinion. I know you're not qualified. Neither am I.
I don't think I'm qualified to comment on Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, you're not, but just do it.
I don't see it.
Okay.
I'm not. Obviously, he's great. I mean, I was captivated. I was especially watching his pick.
Yeah.
It's so weird how people do. If you really think about like holding the pick, it's a very like hard thing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got all these different strum
because you're
patterns.
used to the way that your fingers poke out, and none of them poke that way. So you're using something to poke that way, and your control. It's just different than what you're used to. So yeah, the idea that people do it.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, he's but like people saying like this dude is a goat. Are you saying the GOAT? Like, you're saying, like, this dude is, like, the Tom Brady of guitars, bro. Like...
Yeah.
And that's what I'm not understanding. But, of course, well, like, if you listen to Tony Iommi, right? And then you listen to Yngwie Malmsteen, you're going to say, oh, Malmsteen's better than Iommi because Malmsteen's going, like, 5,000 scales in 4 seconds. But
yeah, okay.
Like... But Iommi invented, like, entire genres of music. So that's what I don't know about Jimi. Like... Did he create like a bunch of genres of music? Was he doing a bunch of shit that nobody was doing until Jimi Hendrix showed up? And then, of course, he's now the prototype from which everybody else came from. If that's what's going on, I get it. I respect it. But if people are saying like, dude is the GOAT because like nobody could come up with what he was coming up with, I'm like, I'm not.
That can't be.
I don't understand. Like that's kind of like what's going on with me.
Okay.
Like, and obviously there's a difference, like, with this song. Like, you could tell, like, you know, he's fiddling around with tuning. Like, he's experimenting, like, in the middle of a song. I could not imagine doing that. Like, I could not imagine, like...
Yeah, that's even too chaotic for you.
But I can't even imagine, like, modern, like... We're friends with some of these guys. They would not be able to do what he was doing, like, live. And they've been playing for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
He was very comfortable. He seemed very comfortable with his instrument.
Mastered the instrument, absolutely. Absolutely. But, like, I need to know exactly what it is. Because since I was a kid, okay, it was Bruce Lee, Michael Jordan, and Jimi Hendrix. My stepdad would be like, all right, Vinny, I'm going to show you now, okay? And he talked to me about Bruce Lee. Obviously, once I saw Bruce Lee, I fell in love immediately. Enter Dragon was the first movie I watched when I came to this country. It was very, very early in my stay in this country. And boy, when I saw that, I was like, I am going to be a martial artist for the rest of my life. I'm going
Really?
to be a ninja. I am going to be
that's so cute.
Bruce Lee's black buddy because he had some black folks with it.
Yeah,
okay,
that's why. Yeah.
I mean, you had to Google. You know, he died. He drank too much water. It just came out this year that he died because he drank too much water.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, but like.
Wow.
So Jimi Hendrix has always been like, dude, and then obviously like as time, so Michael Jordan, I'm like, yeah, of course, Bruce Lee, yeah, Jimi Hendrix. I wasn't into music a lot as a kid, so like I never paid attention to it. Then when I became a metalhead and I got a guitar, everybody's like, oh my God, Jimi Hendrix. I'm not seeing it. Well, I'm seeing great guitarists.
Yeah.
I am seeing great guitarists, but I like the dude from Pink Floyd better. I like that dude from, what do you call it? Zeppelin. I think Page or something like that. I like him better.
Yeah.
So like I'm not dissing I'm not dissing Jimi Hendrix at all. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not qualified to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified to make
I see what you're saying.
Determination, because maybe he came up with entire genre, but like this dude, like people have a religious devotion to him. Like I was watching something on YouTube, and the guy, like the way he was talking about Hendrix, the guy basically said, I shouldn't even be playing this right now, because I'm playing something that Jimi Hendrix. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, well, dude, like this guy, like, okay. Like if I listen to like Bach or Beethoven, like I know I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's it. I don't need to hear nothing else. I swear to God, bro. Like I don't care where you're from. I don't care where you're from. As soon as the motherfucker puts on that wig and shit, with the fucking powder and shit, with that face, it's a wrap. Okay, like I say, come in. You're in the club. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
Hendrix has that one riff, but that's only because of Black Hawk Down. Because like that movie, I cannot tell you, like that movie, like standalone, was probably the greatest agency opera. Because like to this day, like dudes that are like,
I still have not seen that one.
Like it really affected a lot of like lives of people. It's unbelievable to me. But like when they're about to spin out, you got that standing next to a mountain, and then Garrison goes up to Eversman and says, all right, man, have good luck out there. And the dude on the back is like, yo, why are you looking like that? He's like, yo, he never does that, bro. He never does that. Too late, we're out of there. And they're on 6th floor, and it's all Shiro. So anyway, I'm losing my mind here. Jimi Hendrix, great guitarist. I need. Claim a Pizza agrees with me. David Gilmour's guitar work has held up way. Okay, David Gilmour is the dude from Pink Floyd. Yeah,
but nobody's answering the question as to like what is it that was actually so great.
We've only done 4 songs of Jimi Hendrix, like all time.
Right. So, yeah.
If somebody like gets a like, because we kind of did that, we did a Beatles night.
Yep.
And like after we did the Beatles night, I was like, okay, I can see. I don't understand Dwayne yet, but I can see like these guys.
Shout out to
honestly,
Dwayne.
Beatles had bangers after bangers after bangers after bangers.
Yeah.
Like classic songs. Like modern bands all have one. Like Korn has Blind, System has the Chop Suey.
I was gonna say Chop Suey, but I was
like everybody like, and Metallica has a couple. I'll say, but like the Beatles have a bunch. Like we did an entire DJ stream where like all of them were like Chop Suey level, like generational songs that like thousands of people will sing immediately. Like that shit is like. I go, okay, like I don't need to like the Beatles to know that something is happening there. So like that's the other thing. Like homie played with his teeth. Like this dude is revered in guitar circles. Revered. Like there's almost every guitarist that you can think of. Like people do. Oh, he wasn't. Kirk Hammett stays with the whammy pedal and blah blah. Like Kirk Hammett's like one of the top 20 greatest. I don't give a fuck what you say. Like you know what I'm saying. Like people. Oh, it's a whammy. Like, but like with Jimmy, there's almost like no debate. There's no conversation. There's like the dude is the greatest. Okay, he plays effortlessly. He has mastered this instrument, but I have to figure out what the hell is going on with this dude, because I feel like I'm missing something as a guitarist.
Yeah,
it's actually really bothering me, because I'm like, I bet you anything, like, you know, when I had that little session when I was listening to a bunch of Neo for like hours a day.
Oh yeah.
Like it almost turned me into a completely different guitarist. Like all the new shit is like came post that part.
Yeah.
So like,
absolutely.
I feel like I'm missing something. But.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That dude from Neil, that band from Neil with the Scars.
Yep. He absolutely influenced your playing. Why are you doing that with your eyes?
I like him better than Jimi Hendrix. I'm sorry. Little bald white guy from Australia. I'm sorry, but to me,
I do too.
He's a better guitarist than Jimi Hendrix. It's ridiculous for me to say. It's blasphemy.
Yeah, somebody needs to let us know in the comment section, like, what's the big hype around Jimi Hendrix? What are we missing on this? Because, I mean, I don't know. Something seems like there are certain people that I also heard about growing up, which, you know, how there was like a musical bubble put around us. We couldn't hear about any of these secular bands. But Pink Floyd, Metallica, and Jimi Hendrix those are the three, I think, that got through the bubble that I knew existed out there from being even a young kid.
Yeah, see, like...
So, I don't know.
Middle Earth, Michael Brown, you know, Dr. Michael Brown.
Yeah.
Like, idolized Jimi Hendrix. Like, when Jimi Hendrix came out, Michael Brown went to see him live. Like, yeah. Like, dude was like, people... That's the thing that gets me, that intrigues me about Hendrix, is like... He has like some hold on people that it's so, because he was not known to be a good vocalist. That's the thing, so he's a mystery to me, because he's like not a known good vocalist at all.
Yeah. But
like people are like obsessive about Jimi Hendrix. It's crazy to me.
Huh.
And
interesting.
And that's why I'm like, yo, I am missing something.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's so crazy when other people are like, oh, it's overrated. Like, Biggie's overrated. We should listen to 21 Savage. I'm like, you should ask some questions.
Yeah.
Because I'm a better rapper than 21 Savage. What the fuck?
I'm with that. Yep.
So, like, I'm like, yo, like, there's something I'm missing. The song is interesting, though, because it's about girls that'll get you on the killing floor. The girl.
What's a killing floor?
I mean, it's a slaughterhouse, according to.
I thought it was
Middle
like
Earth.
another being heartbroken. What?
Middle Earth
slaughterhouse.
Middle Earth said it's a slaughterhouse. Like, I'm thinking like he's with the wrong girl and like she's like playing around with the mafia and shit, and so now he's in the slaughterhouse. Yeah, because he's like, yo, I should have left you, and now here I am in this slaughterhouse here. I'm on the killing floor. You got me crying on the killing floor.
Yeah, I just took it as. He should have quit her a long time ago and let her go, but he didn't. He stayed with her, and then his heart got in too deep with her, and now stuff's gotten not good. He says, "But you got me messing around with you, baby. You got me crying on the kill." I think like
tell her we love her and we're very proud of her, and all the village is rooting for her for sure.
For sure.
Okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
But you got me messing around with you, baby. You got me crying. I thought it was just him. Now she left him, and now his heart's broken. Like,
so now he's on the killing floor. So he's metaphorically on the killing floor.
Because she's killing him. Like, after everything she put him through, he still stayed with her, and then on top of that, now she left him.
Yeah, but he should have left her.
Yeah, that's what he said. I should have quit you. That's how he starts. He's like,
so then how would it hurt him less? They still wouldn't be together. You see what I'm saying?
No, because he stayed so long. Now he's on the killing floor. Before, if he would have left, he wouldn't have landed on the killing floor. But stuff got worse and worse in their relationship.
What's the killing floor for you? The killing floor for me is their terrible is the terrible circumstance he's now in because of her. Whether that's like literally like about to die because she got hooked up with some mafia people. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just thought it was metaphorical of the relationship.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably watching too much Better Call Saul.
I mean,
there's a lot of Better Call Saul. Look, women abusing men on the killing floor. Thank you. You were just trying to trivialize it because the man was the victim.
No.
Yes. This is about males being abused by you evil ass woman. Somebody has to speak for us.
Oh no. Jesus, that's
what
really
happened.
bad.
That's what happened.
Okay, that's really terrible for a couple of reasons. One, because I didn't see it at all. Now I can actually see what you're saying.
Yeah, see? See, he had his first mind. You should have listened to your first mind, brothers. You should have stayed away from that broad. You should have listened to your first mind.
But it says she was pretty. So
yeah,
he
that's
didn't.
What happens. The girl, that's what happens. That's what happened to me. You're too pretty.
Oh no.
You're too pretty.
But you don't stay pretty forever, so you better fix that shit before you get ugly.
Me want tire. Me want tire. Me
I want that one?
I want that one.
Me want
That's what I said. Me want tire.
You're funny. That's cute.
Long live Kim Wexler. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Gang shit. We are not giving up any spoilers, by the way, dear listener.
No.
Yeah, great show. Great show. Better Call
If I don't
Saul.
follow, my first mind. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
He was
it
saying,
is.
like,
You're
if
right.
he doesn't follow his first mind.
Yep.
And then, like, look, you got to listen to your first instinct. Men never do, though. Men are never, you never hear, like, men being
you
told,
don't.
listen to your first instinct,
Yeah,
brothers.
I thought that's because you didn't have them, but that doesn't make any sense. Of course you guys have those.
We have them. We have instincts. Hello.
I know, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why that was some weird thought I
We've
had.
had to build up more instincts than you, evolutionarily speaking.
Well, who's counting? Obviously, the men are. All right, so then what?
No, I have nothing to add to that. I just want to let that sit, brothers. We gotta start making some right decisions here. Rhea Sanborn is actually a friend of my sister-in-law. Prove it, Archero, and get us an interview.
Yeah, really. Yeah. We'll believe it when we see it.
We'll believe it when we see it.
Not that I think Archero would lie, but the interview would be nice.
Sure.
We need you to prove that
We
shit.
need the proof.
All right.
Men have instincts, women have intuition. Okay.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The intuition. I didn't think that you guys had intuition. That's what I meant. But you guys must have intuition, right? You guys must
I have intuition that I thought that this song was a solid 9.
Oh, you still gave it a 9. Okay, so I agree with you. I'm not really seeing the Jimi Hendrix thing. I didn't know, like, the way that he was playing was, fast, and I'm like, maybe he's doing, like, a lot of stuff up the fretboard that is insane, and people hadn't really done that until he came around doing it, and then since then people do it. So I didn't know if he was, like, a game changer like that, and that's how he got where he is. Other than that, like, it's again, it's also, to me, it's not explained. But I do think that he's great at what he does. That's why I would have put him in the great category, but I wouldn't have put him in the timeless category. Because I don't think it's timeless. I think it's interesting music, though. Anyway, so I am going to give this song an 8. It shall be an 8 for me. Jimi Hendrix. Killing Floor.
I don't know how you pulled that off, bro. But
I don't either. I was literally just thinking.
If it was anybody except for him, well, maybe Amy. Him and Amy. Anybody else would be like, hell no, we're not doing that Jimi Hendrix fucking official shit from Nebraska, wherever he did that shit. Hell no, you'll get our channel blocked.
I feel like we'd do it if Revo said it too, though.
Yeah, if it was real.
Yeah. I felt like you had one missing there.
Yeah.
If it was
Revo.
okay, so if it was him, if it was Amy, or if it was Revo, we'd probably just do that shit. But anybody else, if you say you scrubbed it, we don't believe you.
We're gonna put our foot down, damn it.
Yep.
Or our fist.
Unless you think maybe we forgot to add you into that list, well, send us an email. We'll talk about it.
Remember that time I said somebody's was an alliance leader?
Wait, which thing? Did you make some announcement?
No, I said something like, "Oh yeah, so and so's a great alliance leader." Blah blah blah. Turns out he was.
Yes.
I had flipped. Blah blah blah.
Yes.
Hey Edson, good to see you. Everybody say hello to Edson Quiroya.
Hey, what's up?
We were just leaving.
We were
just leaving.
You picked a fine time to join us.
We love you very dearly.
Vin out.
Love
Sorry
you guys.
out.
Take care of each other. Vin out.
Sorry out.